going on, everybody? What is going on? Thank you so much for joining us tonight on this amazing Tuesday. Greetings and salutations. Okay. Um, oh God. Whew. I don't need to. That one goblet. That's it. I'm cut off.
It's gonna be a wild ride.
Here we go.
Okay. All right. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss Sabrina. So I am the host for tonight's show, and we will be doing a live review of Ready to Love Miami episode number 10. So I hope you guys have watched it so we can all critique it together. We're going to dissect it and we're going to talk about it, okay? Feel free to go ahead and put your thoughts in the chat. We do read the chat. If it's worth putting it on the screen, we'll definitely put it on the screen, and we might possibly even discuss it. Tonight we have the lovely Miss KAYLA.com from Ready to Love Miami, the season that we talking about for the episode, and she was on that episode, so we're gonna talk about that too. And I'm so excited that she is here during this episode because we got questions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord. Oh gosh.
Look, I already warned you last night.
Yes, we had a conversation about it. Yes.
So just to let everybody know that she and we did meet last night for the missing link. Check that interview out. It was an amazing interview. Find out so much more about KAYLA, more than what you saw on the show. If you do want to find out more about her, don't forget to subscribe to her channel. Don't forget to follow her on social media as well. Great interview. Definitely check it out. Before we get started, I would love to say, and I want to say this as well. Last review that we did, the panel review, it was a lot of you guys saying that prayers out to Tommy. You guys were mentioning Tommy. If you guys realize that I didn't mention him at all, I saw your comments. I didn't want to discuss it because, to be honest with you, I had just found out about his surgery. I didn't have all the details. And one thing about me is if I don't have all the facts and details, I'm not going to discuss it. So I did find out that, he did beat thyroid cancer. He had the surgery. He's cancer free now. So I just want to say, let's all give our thoughts and prayers out to Tommy. We love you. Get even weller sooner. And, so I just wanted to let you guys know, my soulmates know, that I wasn't ignoring you, but I just needed all the facts. So, yeah, shout out to Tommy. He's an amazing man, and I know I love him. So, all right, guys, let's get started. Everyone knows that I like to start in the very beginning by having you guys, my panelists, introduce yourselves, and we will do it at the end for anyone that doesn't catch the beginning. Also, to my soulmates, all my viewers, we have 49 of you in the chat and watching us right now. If you have not liked this video, so please like the video. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to me and everybody else that's about to tell you their social media handles. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and start with Miss Demita Jo.
Hi guys, Sabrina, thank you again for the invite. Hey KAYLA. Hey everybody else. Well, my name is Miss Demita Jo. You can find me on YouTube at Miss Demita Jo and on Instagram at by Demita Jo.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Jamie Alexander, on-camera TV host and real estate investor. You can find me on all the things Right Her. Yeah, Jamie Alexander. Make sure you spell it right too.
And go ahead, Gus.
Me? Oh, okay. Hi, how's it going? I'm Gustavo Carr. I am an actor and reality TV show lover who, with my best friend since high school above me, that beautiful lady Jamie, started talking about the show, and here we are.
What's up, everybody? Tyrone E. Wilson. You can catch me at Ty Wilson 21 everywhere. It's always a pleasure to be on the panel. Miss Demita Jo, Jamie, Gus, Sabrina. And it's always a pleasure to have new guests on. So it's going to be fun.
Yes.
Good to have you, KAYLA.
Yes, thank you. And I'm KAYLA. You can find me everywhere at KAYLA.com, with 2 T's.
Yes. Yay. So let's get started. This episode, well, you guys know that watch the show, and that's why you guys are here. Last episode, they left us with a cliffhanger. Okay, we had Samson and we had Swayze on the bottom, with Brandy getting ready to pretty much announce who was getting ready to be eliminated. And then we do have Tommy stepping in And you know what? Like, let me get off my goblet. Let me just go by my notes because I'm over here.
Your goblet. I'll get on the goblet for you.
Child. Okay, and LJ is not there because of a work function. Brandy starts off, but Tommy does cut in and says that he will be the one making the decision and ultimately sending LJ home, since pretty much he couldn't make it, and that means, you know, he's just not ready to love. And he pretty much lets LJ know that if you're watching, that he wishes him the best of luck. Trinika does seem very, very upset, and she removes herself from the situation, and then she goes to the side to take a minute. Now, you know what? I'm not even going to say nothing. I'm going to let y'all go first and go.
Shout out to you and your notes, though.
Right.
Notes on fleek. Notes on fleek.
Wait till you see the rest of the notes, child, in the screenshots. We on fire tonight. We on fire.
It's the screenshot.
I had to be extra tonight because KAYLA was on and I was prepared for this.
Make sure you get those good shots of KAYLA.
KAYLA down there like, oh,
Lord. Chanting is supported. It definitely helps. It definitely will help.
It's all love, KAYLA.
I know. Y'all are funny.
Oh, shit. We haven't gotten funny. We love you, though.
It is what it is, y'all.
All right. So who would like to go first? Well, first I'll go if y'all don't mind. I thought that it was kind of crazy that I thought it was funny when Tommy was like, hold on, Brandy, because in real life, I feel like that was all planned. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think that she was either going to pick Samson or Swayze. I knew that, you know, as soon as Tommy was like, hold on, he definitely was going to pick LJ, because in real life, LJ needed to go anyway. That was just my thought. Not saying that he isn't a great guy, but I just felt like when his ex, that whole ex date, I think just threw me off. With LJ, like, I really wanted to like him in the beginning. I was like, okay, I already know how you felt, Tyrone. I already know we about to hear from you. But I just was like, Dad, you know, and then I understand, like, this is just dating, and you could really be smashing and doing whatever you want to do with whomever you want to do, because you're still dating all these other people. But I just feel like coming into a situation like this, it's kind of like, maybe you should kind of let the people know, like, that you kind of, you know, dealing with, like, in real life, like, I really want to focus on this situation, because what if I really do meet someone that I really, really like, but I'm still smashing Angie over here? It's going to be difficult, because maybe Sabrina really is the one, but then Angie might be the crazy one, and Angie end up telling Sabrina that we were smashing, and Sabrina feels some type of way, and then it's just not going to work out. So I just kind of feel like coming into especially this kind of scene, like, it should have been a wash. You know, I'm glad that Swayze still has an opportunity. Samson still has an opportunity. It's just really sad that Trinika was feeling a type of way, you know, when he got eliminated. But I think at that very moment, she realized, I'm about to get sent home, but she just didn't want to admit it. But anyway, it's my thoughts.
I mean, I'm glad they sent LJ home. It only made sense. And I'm glad that you brought up the ex. And I don't know, maybe I'm a little old-fashioned or doing too much, but I'm kind of like expecting, once you get on the show and you're ready to love, I don't know, maybe you should clear your roster, or at least make a little room, because there is confusion and a lot gets involved when you're involving other energies. You're having sex with other people. You're ambivalent about this person. Your baby mama's over here. Your ex-wife. It's just a lot. It's too much. So if you're going to call yourself ready, to me, it sounds like you should probably be coming to this situation with your plate, so you can put some things on your plate. But if you got rice, beans, tacos, lasagna, and your plate is full, and you coming up here talking about you that's going to come out. We're going to see it all, and it's just going to end up being a little more chaotic than it needs to be, because y'all are already put on the show with 10, 12 people to choose from. So it's just a lot, and I just think that it was kind of a no-brainer to send LJ home. He was nice, but after last episode, not the one we just watched, but the one where he had his girlfriend on. I can't with LJ.
In real life.
I'm hanging up on LJ.
Yeah. Future wife. Right.
You got a girlfriend.
Okay. Right.
Look, I think Tommy said it best. You know, this, if you want to be here, you make time for this. You know, there's sacrifices you have to make. I think for anything in life that you want to be successful at, in love, if you want to be successful at that, you have to make that a priority. You have to take time out for it and realize that that job's going to be there. You can do another job. You can get your money another way. But if you keep pushing things off, it will never find its way to you, and you'll never be present for it. And I feel like I've been feeling that from this guy this whole time. I don't know if this whole season I've felt any type of depth or anything that was really pushing me more toward a feeling of thinking that he is ready to love. I haven't experienced that, so it seemed appropriate. And I'm going to do the disclaimer that I love to do. We are not judging these people on their actual real character or who they are. We are just judging from what we see and what we are shown. So just know that and be at peace that we are talking about with the product that is given to us to watch. So I know a lot of people get sensitive about that, but look, we're here to talk about the product, not these people personally, but what we see about them on this TV show, which they all know they signed up for, KAYLA, which this way, I think is extremely courageous of you. I say it every time I talk on this panel. I think you having the courage to put yourself out there and knowing that you want love and for us all to witness it is just very admirable. So thank you for being one of those people that we get to, watch on your journey.
Yeah, it was really crazy. I really was like, I cannot believe I did this. All the time I would be like, what am I doing? Like, this is wild. It's tough.
Yeah,
it's insane. I couldn't do it. I got to give it to all y'all that did it. I don't know how I would be acting.
I still can't believe it.
You'd be like, wow.
It's surreal. Yes, it's surreal. It doesn't seem real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's really highs and lows, because then once it's over, life is like back to normal for a few months. And then all of a sudden, like, bam, it's on television, and it's kind of like, it's highs and lows for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's muted.
Oh, yeah. So I was going to say, I honestly don't know how LJ even made it that far.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, agreement or no agreement, you probably shouldn't have somebody, you smashed in the last 60 days in the same room.
I mean,
with somebody you're trying to date. You know what I mean? I really don't think Trinika was feeling them like that. I feel like, even the elimination with LJ was production. Like, if you listen to the audio when Tommy steps in is off. You know what I mean? So it didn't feel normal. The whole conversation with the FaceTime and everything, it just felt like production. It felt like, Trinika being a nice person, still trying to be open and give him some airtime, I guess. But I didn't see it going anywhere. And that's about all.
Like, he could have
got on that,
before.
Yeah.
Y'all remember this?
We talked about that last week. Sorry, but we talked about that last week, so that's why I was just letting him talk about that. Right? Didn't we?
What? Hold on. Talked about what?
I think I missed last week.
Yeah. That's what I was. Yeah, he just basically touched on something we touched on last week too, which was.
Yeah, I mean, if you sign up for a show and you say, "Okay, I'm going to be there," everybody else has done what they needed to do to be present and stuff like that. It's kind of disrespectful to those people. Like, they made it there with all their busy lives and things. So I think that he should have been gone. Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding of the priorities that you're showing up for. So,
I mean, I'll say this. I'll say this. LJ works for the government. Okay. So there's just maybe a little less flexibility in certain positions and roles, and that's just what it is. I mean, I like a Black man working, and he was one of the ones with more coins amongst the men. So I'm not mad.
But if you had a connection with him, how would that affected how you felt about the process?
I mean, I did have a connection with him. We were cool. It wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
but
I mean a connection like that.
I find him attractive for sure, especially in person. He's very attractive. But it just wasn't like a compatibility match, rather. So yeah, we definitely had a connection. We actually had a date.
How tall is he in person?
Huh?
How tall is he in person? Maybe
like 5'10".
Okay.
He's like just a little bit taller than me. I'm 5'8". He's not, just slightly taller than me with heels on. We're pretty much the same height. A little bit taller, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I understand about the whole, like, priority, but I just don't know. I wonder in this process how it would have impacted you if you had a deep connection with him, if you had those feelings and he was absent from this this scenario.
I feel like if that was the case, then whoever you had that connection with, you would still have it. You going on a trip wouldn't change that. And if they wanted for you to be off the show because of it, or you get voted off because of it, then whoever was like really truly connected with you would self-eliminate, and then we would see y'all together at the reunion.
Yeah, that's plausible for sure.
I mean, what would you do? Isn't that what you would do?
Yeah, I think I would.
Or would you stop talking to your connection because Tommy told you to go home?
If he was my connection, and that was somebody that I was really feeling, and we had, been very intentional on where we're going, I would absolutely self-eliminate the next episode because I wouldn't play the game just to be a pawn for entertainment, because that's not what I would be on this show specifically for, if that makes sense.
Well, not if you actually found someone you really connect with.
Yeah, then I would self-eliminate if he got kicked off and be like, I'm going to go pursue what I really want.
Right, absolutely. Which is that person.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to eBlack TV. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Salute to the panel and to Miss Sabrina. So thank you so much for the love. Thank you. So Latasha Edwards says that if it was a real connection, would you have?
You would still
have it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It may impact the show, but not the connection. And Styran says, if you had a connection with him, would you still have continued things after his ex date? Let me put my glasses on.
For me, there has to be somebody else that you could have brought. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have been like Swayze and brought your friend if you didn't have any exes that could act right. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was wondering why he picked her.
I don't think
he had to know she was gonna.
Maybe he didn't know she was gonna act like that. Maybe he thought like she was gonna be.
But I feel like he knows that she's still feeling him.
Knew.
But
he might not have thought
he
that
knew.
She would say nothing.
He knew.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He
knew, but he ain't think that she was gonna throw him under the bus like that. Like, he thinking she going to answer a couple questions and stuff. He didn't think that she was gonna be like,
he was like, what the?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect
fire early.
I didn't expect those questions to be asked. I honestly didn't even know that happened until the show aired. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I did not see that scene. I did not know that. I was not on stage during the reunion, during their part, because I'm not a part of that. You know what I mean? I was shocked. I was like, oh my God. It was funny. It was entertaining.
I think the real question is, how did he not know she would say that? I think as a man, you should be in tune with knowing if your ex is still into you, especially if you're still having sex with her. So, judgment call,
but I don't know about you, but guys assume a lot, right? So he might have been like, okay, yeah, I know we had a good situation, right? And we're still cool, and I could bring her. Because he probably doesn't have a lot of family here, but then he probably in his head didn't think that he had to sit her down and be like, look, don't say that we had sex. I'm bringing you here to talk to two people I'm trying to date. Like, in his head, he probably was like, what was I thinking? But she definitely was honest. I mean, I got to appreciate her honesty. But then on the other hand, can we really hold him responsible for that? Because like you said, he's single. Yeah, he's single and dating. Are you supposed to be abstinent before you come on the show? Or like, you know what I mean? So it's up in the air for me.
Yeah, I don't think it was that bad. Like, I'm sure you've probably been on a date and found out someone that you're dating had sex a month ago. It's just the person that they had sex with is not at the same table with you. So
it's really great when they have sex with your friend last week.
When they're right there in front of you. It's different then.
Yeah.
It was good for TV though.
Yeah.
Honey, that was wild.
It was amazing for TV.
But also it's about the energy. And one thing I will say about Shanika is that part, like what y'all see about her in terms of like being very like about the vibrations and energy. She really is like that. She really is like that. She can tell like and sense things with people. Like even when we're out, you know, she'll just be like, let's go this way. Like she's just really like picks up on the energy. So because nobody else on any dates asked any questions like that. It's like,
Jamie is a really good friend with her in real life.
But maybe she was feeling some kind of energy between them, and she was just like, I don't know.
Yeah, she could sense it. She's very intuitive, for sure. She asked the right questions. I think we get to learn that later too in this episode. She's very intentional and like intuitive when it comes to getting the fine details that are important.
And when Looney came in, she was like, "Girl, they still sleeping together." Just so you know.
Does anyone have anything else to say about this scene? No? Okay, moving forward. They all gather around after the elimination date, and of course, Swayze and Samson, they're elated that they did not get eliminated. They pretty much all gather around. They're taking shots. And a lot of shots. Yeah, because what's her name? Sharice. Tommy was like, y'all been drinking? And she was like, a lot. We've been drinking. I was like, oh. But I'm really starting to love her. But Tommy enters and tells them that they're going to have an old school dating style. Ooh, nobody loved me in real life. Going to have an old school dating style game show called Sister and Her Mister. Pretty much Tommy's matchmaking. Oh my God, I can't talk. Tommy is called Matchmaking Miles, and he is going to see if they really know their partners. He tells the ladies that they have to pick one man, and their goals are to match their connections' answers. If they win, they get a helicopter ride with mermaids. So the very first person first question that he's going around the room is, before I start. Okay. Brandy and KAYLA pick Mike. Mike is shocked that KAYLA picked him. Jamala and Trinika picked Randall. Sharice picked Samson, and Kadian picked Swayze. The first question, I skipped that little part. The first question goes to Swayze and Kadian, and pretty much they're out, okay? Because she gets it wrong. The first question for Jamala and Trinika and Randall, Jamala gets wrong, so she's out. Randall was so disappointed and was like, how'd she get that wrong? So Randall and Trinika end up winning the game, and they get to go on their one-on-one. So
KAYLA, how bummed were you that you didn't win?
I was about to say, at this point, I want to
seeing the prize.
A mess. A mess.
I can't talk tonight.
Would you have liked that prize?
Like, what
thinking about it at the time, I wanted to win because I did want to have some conversation about some things. Yeah.
Who did you want to win? Who did you want to? Oh, never mind. You picked Mike.
Yeah. I picked Mike for a few different reasons. So,
what are the reasons?
Him being shocked was like wild because he knows that we're each other's connection. So that's like wild for him to be shocked. But
honey, he was shocked the whole season so far.
I'm shocked, honey. Well, I picked Mike for a couple of reasons. So they don't show, but the night before, or no, that same night, or is this day 2? No, this is day 2. The night before, right after the whole Jamala, me, whatever that situation was, a little bit later from that incident, right? I went back to Randall's. So when you see she comes in, she's cooking or whatever, and she comes in, she has the conversation. I guess she chews them out or whatever happens there, right? After that, I came back to, this was some way time later. I just came back to the room just to see what was going on with them. And I walked in on, situation. So I was like, oh, wow. You know what I mean? This is deeper than I thought. Like there's a lot more going on here than was conveyed to me, right? So then I storm out, whatever. He follows me. He comes to my room. We have a whole argument. They don't show any of this, And yeah, so I was just pissed at Randall. So that was one of the reasons. Yes, I was pissed. I was pissed at Randall. And then the question was, the game was sister and her mister. So it was like, who do you know more about? And like me and Randall talked a lot, but me and Mike talked more. Like me and Mike had like those like really chill like conversations. So it's just like, who do I know the most about so that I can actually win this game? And I felt like I would know more about Mike, which I did. So yeah.
So KAYLA, to be clear, the situation was with Randall, not Mike.
Which situation?
The one you say you walked in on a situation?
Yeah, that was Randall.
Okay.
Jamala. Yeah.
But she was playing with the scrotum?
No. No.
She said that, and we were like,
she said that I was not playing with anyone's scrotum. No, but I walked in on them like making out or whatever.
Oh, copy that. I was just referring to what she said last week when she was.
No, I didn't touch anyone's scrotum. And
we know we said that last week.
I don't know why that was said. I think she was just being like, she was being facetious and like trying to be, you know, dramatic.
100%.
She would have been so upset if he'd have been like,
KAYLA, are you still cool with any other ladies? Are there any other ladies that you're not cool with? You don't have to say no names.
I am cool with some of the ladies, yes.
Mm-hmm. I have a feeling I know which ones you're not. What's KAYLA? What sign are you?
I'm a Gemini. But who did y'all think was going to win the game initially?
I thought you were going to win. I thought you were going to win.
I feel like I almost felt like you got the answer wrong on purpose.
No, I didn't get the answer wrong on purpose. I will tell you what happened though. The question that they asked me, what college did Mike go? I knew in the back of my mind we talked about this, and Mike never talked about a college experience. So I was just kind of like, did he go to college? I don't remember him. And I told them, I don't think there's an answer. And they were like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And then they were just like, just guess something. But really, I was right. Like, there wasn't an answer. He didn't go to college. But, you know, whatever. That's just, I felt pressured to give an actual answer when there wasn't one, which I knew, but whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. I sensed something like that.
So during the game, because, I mean, it even goes back down to, so during the game, like, how was Brandy's energy? Because, I mean, I don't want to come up with my own assumption. I know what I saw, and I have the screenshots to prove what I thought. But, like, was what I'm thinking, like, the energy was, to me, was like, this chick, and it seemed like the more you got your answers right, the more pissed off she was getting at you. And I was like, well, why she mad at like KAYLA? I don't understand right now. And it looked like she was big mad, but she had to play it off and kind of be like cool, laughing about it because the cameras were right there. But afterwards, like, how was her attitude towards you? Like,
during the game, her attitude was exactly like y'all saw it. Like, she was getting more and more irritated,
upset.
She was like, let me take another sip of my drink. Like, she was getting more and more, you know, like annoyed because she didn't want that to happen. You know,
she didn't want what to happen? To show the world that you had a better connection with Mike than she did?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
But okay, so
I have a theory, but go ahead.
I have no idea, but I think that as much as like Brandy, between like, if we look at my three triangles, or two triangles or whatever, Richard really, this Shanika thing, that's my girl, but like, she was really not in this, whatever they want to call it, a square. It really wasn't. So between me, Jamala, and Randall, and me, Mike, and Brandy was always the chiller one. She never like did a lot. Like, she was always very chill and cool and like, yeah, girl, we like the same guy. It's cool. Like, we always had good energy. We never had like whatever that is that me and Jamala had, you know? So I was like, okay, she getting upset. I didn't expect it. But yeah, just like how you saw it, that's how it was.
Wait, you just said Trinika, the square. Is that Trinika, you, Randall,
and Jamala?
Jamal. That you said that wasn't really anything.
It was a triangle. I mean, it's appeared as a it's appeared as a square, but in reality, it was a triangle.
Because she wasn't really a part of it.
I mean, she was a part of it, but like her top two connections, majority of the season was like Justice and LJ, really. And I mean, Randall, he was always there, but like it was like Justice, 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 and then after Justice met her friends, it was like LJ, 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 LJ. You know what I mean? So I was like, Randall was always like there, but in the ladies' lounge, I mean, he wasn't like she wasn't.
That is such good production.
Her priority.
That's fantastic production because the way he talks about her,
Mm-hmm.
you really sense, you feel like there's something happening. Like he obviously really respects her, but they want you, it seems, to believe like there is something intimate there. So clap to production then for fooling us on that.
I'm not saying they didn't have a connection. I'm just saying in terms of like where it lined up against the other people that were there. I mean, they were both each other's third.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's facts. So
he doesn't talk like she's the third. That's what I'm trying to say, though.
The thing is that we don't get to hear how he talks about me and Jamala. They don't show. I'm sure they asked him more questions about both me and Jamala, for him to speak more about us, but we just don't see them. I don't know where they are.
When he cried at the table,
I'm sure they're there somewhere. You know what I mean?
When he cried at the table, how did y'all like? What did y'all think about that?
At the dinner table
while she was talking about her story.
I didn't see. They made it seem like it was something towards her. I know Randall, so I didn't see it as like something towards her. I seen it as him identifying with her situation. Okay. Me knowing his situation, he was identifying with what she was saying about the space she was in. I think that's what touched him. And just like like Trinika's spirit is very nurturing, and like when she tells her stories or explains something, like it's very touching. So I think that's more what it was. I don't think it was like, I don't know how they made it seem.
Tears of love.
Kayla, how much of the game did we miss?
None of it. That was the game. Those were all the questions.
Did it make you want to win even more when you felt Brandy's energy just being so irritated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Especially when she got the first question wrong. I was like, Brandy, they don't show it. I was even on camera. I was like, Brandy, now good and goddamn well Mike is not moving in no
just
6 months.
Salt in the wound.
Well, I thought the question was about me, like what he would do with me. And I'm like, Brandy, it could be you, it could be anybody. He's not moving nobody in nowhere in no 6 months. Like, do you talk to this man? I don't know. That was just like weird as hell. Like, how do you get this wrong? Like, this is wild. But that's just what I thought,
Well,
look at Randall.
Shout out to Randall and Trinika for winning the dating game.
It was dope.
Mm-hmm.
It was. And it's so funny. Let me see real quick. How many do I have? I want to say I have 3 screenshots of where it says winners, Randall and Trinika. And all the screenshots, that's how Randall looks.
This face?
Yes, pretty much. Like, it didn't seem like he was excited at all. I was like, let me find a picture. Let me find a shot that I can take where he was at least. And y'all know I don't go back and I don't be retaking those screenshots. If you get the first shot, that's what you get. So,
oh Lord, Trinika, these hoochie daddy shorts.
So how you feel about his hoochie daddy shorts?
I mean, I like the hoochie daddy shorts. He has like some thick thighs, so I have no issue with it. Okay?
I love me some thick thighs too, girl.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh,
it does look good. Mm-hmm.
And then it was so weird to me because Jamala was like so like extra like woohoo, like she was cheering them on. And I was like, Jamala knows she mad in real life. I was like, she knows she furious. She was like, yeah, woo, woo. I was like, did her team win or am I tripping? Like, I was so confused.
Forced.
Yeah, Yeah.
Felt very forced.
That's one thing about Brandy that I like, because I was like, Brandy had a problem and she showed exactly her true colors. She was like, I got a problem with this, and I respect it more. Jamala was like, yeah, woo, 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 woo. I was like, come on. But as soon as KAYLA come in the room, it's a problem. I'm like,
right.
Y'all know why?
No, tell us why, KAYLA.
There's a problem with those who are actual threat.
Oh.
And those who aren't.
Tyrone, what you was about to say? Tyrone, unmute yourself.
No, and I think that's absolutely true. You know, I think it's absolutely true. It's just up to KAYLA how she gonna respond to it all.
Yeah, I think Jamala is, Leah Hubbard says, how old is Jamala? Jamala's what, 30?
She's 33. 33.
Yeah, I knew she was in her early.
But I also felt like Jamala just wanted it to be over too. Like she just needed some type of conclusion, some answer, something, you know?
Yeah, maybe she was celebrating the fact that the game was over. She's like, finally, thank God, yes. Okay, can we move over here, Randall? Come here, I'm talking to you. We got some things to talk about.
Yeah, because I didn't see either one of them the rest of the night that night.
Hold on, you didn't see. Hold on.
There you go.
Let me put my notes down.
No.
What'd you say?
Huh?
I said you didn't see who no more for the rest of the night.
No. That was a quiet night. I didn't see nobody. For like the previous night, we stayed up, we drank. I taught the girls some dance. You know, young hot chick. Let me give these girls some dance lessons. But the second night, everybody went to their rooms. You know, me and Mike was actually in the kitchen cleaning because neither one of us did no cleaning the whole trip. So we was helping with the cleanup, and Brandy came over and was like, "All right, honey, it's time for bed." And he went, and I was just like, bye.
So
I went and got in the hot tub by myself with my wine and my libations, and I had a good time in my speaker. And yeah, I just did me.
So when you said that they didn't come check on you, they didn't nothing, like literally.
Well, no one came. No. Randall came by when we had that argument, when I was upset because I walked in or whatever. He came up there and we was like arguing, whatever. Right. And that's the only time Randall came to my room. And then Mike came to my room once, really quick, like
to show face.
Yeah, just to show face, like what's going on, da da da. And then he was gone.
So KAYLA, so what are you seeing that we aren't seeing? Because you still made a comment towards the end that you wanted to
see what was up.
Yeah.
I don't know when that comment was made, though. You know what I mean? Like them interviews. I don't know when or what I was referring to be honest.
Wow.
So how were you then really feeling then at the end of that? If that comment was
feeling like, oh no, I basically found out at the house that they were both full of shit. Because like you guys, I don't see the interviews. I don't see the dates they go on with other people. I don't know the conversations they're having. All I hear about is whatever the ladies decide to share in the ladies' lounge. And then whatever happens when we're in a group setting. But when we're in a group setting, you know, it's different. So I don't know anything. But at the house, I mean, it was kind of like, okay.
Okay. So follow-up question. So you there was a comment that you just made saying that they went in the rooms. You also said you know, that they wasn't checking for you. And then towards the end when you was like, it shows you getting on mic about him not saying anything and then calling it weak, with him coming up to you after Brandy left. Right? But you also stayed as well.
Stayed where?
Right? At the house. So like if
no,
they wasn't,
I left. We all were leaving.
But like the way that you were saying it just now, like if it was that bad, I feel like you would have been one of the first people to leave. But it looks like you left after Brandy left, which gave Mike the chance to talk to you.
Well, if we really want to get into what
I was about to say,
really
like,
happened
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's why we're here, right?
I actually was staying to talk to Randall because he asked me to stay to talk to him.
Okay.
So Mike just was able to talk to me because I was waiting for Randall was actually doing something, and I was waiting for him because he wanted to talk. Like,
y'all got me speed.
So
Okay.
Mike just happened to Mike just happened to be able to do that, and the cameras were still there. I'm looking like that's. I'm like, why are you trying to talk to me? Like, why are you trying to talk to me, sir?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here for you.
What is it that you need, sir?
Now, this one I did go back. It took me like 5 tries to get this exact shot. I was like, I gotta get this shot.
You're like, oh, you still here? Oh, what's up?
And at the same time, you know, Mike was like dating people, places, you know. So I'm not going. While I get, he slept in the room with Brandy. I was just kind of like, he's also doing that with other people not on this show. So should I care? You know, should I care? We're all single.
Mm-hmm.
So
should I care?
Well, not to assume and put words anywhere. That's not my intention when I say this next thing. But so were you onto him a lot more quickly then? Were you over him like way sooner than we see you being over him? Or at this point in the show, were you still semi-invested in him?
And Mike?
Yeah.
I was like over it. I was kind of over it. That's why, you know, really, Mike was always my second choice. He was never my first choice.
Interesting.
I mean, if you watch the season, that's apparent. I was never jealous over nothing he had going on with Brandy. I was just like, okay. You know, I always felt some type of way about the Jamala situation. That's why.
I didn't gather that from watching it. I gathered that Mike was your first choice because it seemed like, not Brandy particularly, but it felt like you were definitely affected by him the most from what we witnessed from watching the show.
But from what? What makes you say that in terms of
when you guys went on the date? When you went on the date with him and he wasn't showing up the way you wanted, you seemed affected. And like the third, maybe or fourth episode, you know, so those are the moments that, you know, if production is doing.
So, like, I noticed, like, at what looks like the elimination date with you and Mike, I'm trying to get a feel for like how over you were with it, because you did express your concerns about the weekend, but it still seemed as though you were open to seeing what the possibility could be. Holding hands, there was still some pet names there.
It was the
and
friend
all that.
Date. It was the friend date.
Know?
It was the friend date. That's what I was trying
What
to
about
say.
the friend
calling
date?
each other honey and
that's
all
when
that.
You seemed like you were really into him and disappointed. When I say affected,
oh no, this isn't okay. So
that's production.
So
are we talking about the same thing, Gus?
Well, it's not production. It's not. It's just in terms of what you guys saw. What people forget about this friend scene is you guys don't get to see that me and my friend before when I initially started crying. I know it goes from me talking to just me crying. No, I'm definitely not a crier. So it took a time before like I started those tears coming out. And what me and Kelly were talking about was my ex and how Mike looks so similar in terms of the way that he is to my ex. So for me, I was crying about my own issues with like people I decide to entertain. You know what I mean? And her saying like, oh, you're giving Mike more attention. And I was giving Mike more attention because Mike was giving me more attention than Randall, even though Randall was always the first choice, the person I voted for every time, first in the lounge, you know? So, you know, where the attention goes, sometimes I go. And that's what I was upset about. You know what I'm saying? Instead of me pushing more and like giving Randall more of me, I was like going where the attention was. And the attention was from Mike. You know what I mean? We had a lot of dates that y'all don't see. There's a lot of dates. You know, we had a date the day after the friend's date. We had a date the day after his friend's date. We had a lot of more dates than I had with Randall. You know, so it was just a lot. It was just a lot. Like,
When I say affected, I'm not digging at you, by the way. Hang on, tell one more thing. When I say affected, I'm not digging at you. I actually was one of the points that I brought up on this panel that I had admiration for you for recognizing that you don't want to repeat a pattern. So that's why I'm asking that question, because going throughout the
it was
season,
really about me. It wasn't, it was really about me. And like, I think I had an aha moment. And if anything, that's probably the most beneficial thing I got from the experience. You know, it's like we're all on this show and single for a reason because we all have some type of issue. Okay. Otherwise, we would be happily married and wherever, you know, being all in bliss on Instagram.
Married people have issues too, but yeah.
Yeah, I know, but at least you wouldn't be on a dating show trying to date people if you could figure it out. So, you know, I think in that moment, I just more so had an aha moment. It was about me. It was not about either one of those men that I had literally only known for about 4 weeks at that point, or 4 weeks, you know? So, yeah.
That's what I got from you too, that it was about like, okay, like he said, repeating a pattern. But I also thought that it was great that you are like one of the only people, and the other person is Randall, that were when you were confronted with that, you were like trying to see what you could learn to better yourself and do something different than you do in the outside world. And I thought that was tight because that's the whole point of the process. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, Kayla. And I was like, she was not crying over the dude. But I get it. He was emotional about, you know, I'm just gonna speak for myself here. Like, why do I keep dating these type of dudes? That's what I got from it.
I got a follow-up question, Kayla. Like, how much do you enjoy like your ability to read the room, perceive other people's attention on you, like the stalking of it, the game, the hunt, just all of it when it comes to dating and figuring out what you can do with these people's feelings and stuff, and even the competitive part of it, which you have mentioned on the show? Because I'll say it, like week 1, I said, I think Kayla's with the shits and she enjoys it. So I just want to get a confirmation.
With the shits, what does that mean?
I'm trying to hear from you.
Well, okay. So you're asking, what I'm hearing you say is that you want to know like how I go about dating in terms of how I interact with people?
No, like I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm also watching what your body is also saying. And it seems to be two different things. Like it seems like you are enjoying the entire like stalking and hunting process of the dudes getting their attention, maybe some manipulating some emotions here and there. It just seems like it's subconsciously an enjoyable experience for you.
There's certain moments that are enjoyable, but I don't think that did any type of manipulation. That's the one thing I can say is like I didn't do or say anything that wasn't authentic to try to make someone like me more or to position myself. You know, I really was me, but in certain instances and certain things, you know, I mean, it's what I would do in real life. You know, if I was out somewhere and there's somebody I liked and I seen him somewhere, okay, I'm about to walk over there. Let me see, like walk over here and like, let me see like what's happening over here. Like that's what you do in real life. Like, so yeah, I definitely enjoy that. And I can feel certain energy from men. I can feel it. I can feel it when somebody wants me. I can just feel it when I'm around them. So, you know, I knew certain people.
We could see that,
but certain people are not like me. Whereas, like, you can be out there doing whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm very secure, you know what I mean? So I'm willing to bet on it. Whereas other people need something that's more of a sure thing, and that makes them feel more comfortable, you know? So that's just what it is. But
don't you think the sure thing is what takes you to love, essentially? Do you think maybe
I think absolutely if the person if you're feeling that genuine energy from them, absolutely. But if you're not, and I feel like you're playing, then we gonna play. I'm not about to try to prove it to you more when you're not really doing a whole lot. You're not doing enough. I'm not about to try to prove You know what I mean? Like, I've had many relationships. I've done all the things. I've been engaged. I've done all the things. And when those things end, it's devastating. So it's like, I'm not trying to just get it to get it. You know what I mean? If it's not going to be for real, for real. And that's just how I feel.
So Kayla, real quick, there's a couple of comments in the section saying that you told Mike that he was your number one. And
yeah, I told him that on that date that we had the day after the retreat because of like the situation that happened with Randall. So I was like, okay, we got to pivot.
Yeah.
There we go. There's Tyrone theory going right there.
Also,
Right.
They want to know, what do you see in Randall?
So Randall is actually a really great guy. Like, he's very intellectual, and the way that he just deals with people is just very attractive. I like his personality. Like, he definitely has a good heart. He's very caring. He's a gentleman too when he wants me, you know. I'll just leave it at that.
Another question, right? So I do get on the guys for not being absolutely clear, right? And it seems as though Mike wasn't absolutely clear about you and your intentions. Do you think that's more on him just bullshitting? Or do you feel like you made it absolutely clear that it was about him and it wasn't just because of the Randall incident? Because it seems like we're just finding out about you and the Randall incident as well.
Well, initially from day one, Mike felt some type of way that he wasn't like my absolute first choice anyway. He was just kind of like, why is anybody else, your top other than me, after the pool party? So that was our, the beef kind of started from there, because it was just kind of like, you was just there. Like, Mike didn't talk a lot. Like, in the beginning, Mike barely talked. Like, he was like pretty shy. Like, yeah, he had his moments where he was very open and stuff like that, but like, it took some time like to warm him up. And so for me, I'm like, okay, well, maybe you're not that interested. Brandy was like overtly from the first day, like, I like Mike. I want Mike. You know what I mean? So like, that's just how it went.
Tyrone was being honest and saying that you're for the show.
I'm sitting here like.
So were you clear? Like, so were you? I hope I didn't miss it. All right.
Huh?
I'll let it go.
What? Oh
no, I was saying, were you clear with Mike? Like, why didn't Mike understand that, there was a connection with you and him?
He did. I don't know why.
He seemed oblivious.
I don't know why. That was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I never bought that. He just felt.
That's not true at all. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why. That was more of like the ego. I don't know, because I was giving Randall more attention in the house. I think that was just the ego, because it's like, Mike, what are you talking about? You invited me to come meet your friend. Like, you already know what it is. We talk every other day. Like, I don't know why you're all acting all shocked. Like, it was that was stupid.
Okay.
Because for me, I'm gonna keep it 100. For me, when I first started watching from episode 1, it was like he was trying to let you know, like, I'm not interested in you. He was like, you want kids? I don't want kids. You this? I don't want to do that. You that? Like, when y'all was at the white party, he was like, yeah, you like me, but I don't like you like that. Like, I mean, it was like evident, and I was like, what's going on? But obviously, you were still there. And one thing that I know about people in relationships, because I've been in enough to know that if I'm still hanging around a guy, regardless if he's saying that to his friends, his boys, whatever the case, he's obviously spitting something different to me. So that's what I was getting. I was like, she has to be hanging around for a reason. So he's obviously selling her dreams, because she ain't gonna just keep being up in his face, and then he want to act like he ain't really feeling her, but then get an attitude that she done kissed some other dudes, but yet he's smashing this person, dating this person over here with that person, all this and all that. And I'm just like, wow, like, he's throwing up so many red flags, and I just was like, KAYLA, run, like, Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I said it last episode, I was like, I really like KAYLA, and I really hope that she self-eliminates. I'm like, because her guy is not there. Like, me watching Randall, and y'all know I love Randall. Randall's cool. He was just, on the show with us. But at the end of the day, it was like with him telling, but see, you know what? I can't really say that. So I need to kind of think like, we see what y'all don't see. Like y'all don't be going to dates with them. We not on a dates with them. So we don't know what he's saying to Jamala. We don't know what he's saying. You don't know. You know what I mean? It's just us watching it, just like people were saying about me. I try not to include myself, just like people were saying about me. Run, Sabrina. I'm like, run, Kayla, run. But you don't know that you need to be a track star. You don't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Until you watch it back. So I get it. You know what I mean? It's just it's so unfortunate. So unfortunate.
I think, you know, just from my perception, I think it's clear that you and Mike do have some type of chemistry, right? I'm gonna say that when y'all are in the room together, and it seems like y'all both subconsciously bring out, you know, that inner hunt in each other, and it's like y'all be trying to hide it, but to me it's clear, like it's coming off as like y'all know something that we don't. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm seeing.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. It was a lot of physical, but it was mental and emotional too. Just because like we related a lot to each other. But I mean, we're different, you know. Oh goodness.
Oh yes, this part. She was looking at him.
This was from last episode, y'all, honey, because I got one of him looking at you too, boo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really was like, bruh, I really was trying to leave. Like, anyway, moving on. I just didn't want to be there. Like, I don't know. For me, more than anything, it was gosh.
And it was quick. That scene was quick. That was when I had to take a couple times too. I was like, I gotta get the look. I was like, honey. I was like, as soon as they finished with that wine and them pork chops and broccoli, I was like, it's about to be on, honey. He was excited for Brandy to go to
Kayla look was like this. I'm not gonna put the word in it, but she was just like, this dude, give me your hand.
Nah, just like, bro, you on my nerve. Like everything was on my nerves on that trip. My ego was not liking any of it. I was like, I don't want to be here.
I feel like Mike was liking Brandy because Brandy was a sure shot. In his head, to me, just as my opinion, he felt like that Brandy was going to get him to the end. She was a safe bet, but I felt like if he really had to choose, it would be you. But I felt like that your personality was so strong. Soon as he like slip up or he do something, you're going to be like, oh, so you acting like that. But Brandy, like, I don't care. You can act like whatever you want. I just felt like that she was the safer go, and that's why he ended up sticking to her. But in real life, I feel like he really liked you, but he was trying so hard to act like he didn't like you on camera, but everything else showed otherwise.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, I mean, it was just
y'all's
chemistry. I see y'all's chemistry. I see Mike and I see Brandy as
fake.
But I see you and Mike like I've been thinking about you all day, baby.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel
like
good.
Right.
It doesn't feel healthy.
Like,
I don't find it healthy the way that I see it when I see it.
I got another question, Kayla, then I'll let it go.
Oh Lord.
Don't let it go, Tyrone.
Only because I feel like the people want to know, right?
Okay.
When y'all was on the couch and Brandy was like rubbing Mike behind you, were you aware of that? Because it seemed like you might have been aware, but you was just unbothered.
No, I was aware. Well, not at first, but I became aware.
Okay. All right.
Kayla, I don't know you. I don't know you at all. So feel free to tell me to F off. But you seem really affected by Mike still. There's something about when in your eyes when we say his name, like
because he's right there.
No, you or something, you know, like.
Okay, so what I'll say is that after this house experience, you know, I'm seeing it for what it is, right? Currently,
and that's never easy.
Currently, watching it back and seeing all the things that were said, I'm just shocked and disappointed because it's okay if you're gonna pick somebody else, but to treat me like this when you know that that's not what it was, like, it's just, it don't have to be like that. It don't have to be like that. That's all I'm saying. Like some of this stuff, seeing behind the scenes, seeing his interviews, I'm just like, wow. It couldn't just be like, I like them both, but I liked her more. It had to be like, I don't know. I just feel like watching the whole season, it's just like he put me down the whole season, but then you like me, but then you, I don't know. I just don't understand why it had to go that way. So I'm just disappointed in that.
Did you voice that
Completely
at the reunion?
understandable.
Did you voice that
You'll
at
have
the
to
reunion?
watch the reunion. There's only 2 more episodes, and then you'll see the reunion. This reunion is going to be so lit. You have to. Oh my gosh,
Kayla, do not hype me up, man.
I'm nervous.
She already hyped me up last night, so, and I ain't saying nothing. No, y'all need to watch the reunion. I mean, she didn't really tell me that, but you know what I'm saying? It sounded like it was gonna be real good.
Oh my goodness, no, girl.
Let's just hope we see all of it, because Kayla got all of it in her
Let's
head.
just hope we see all of it, because if we don't, we'll be spilling the tea on whatever was missing. But it's jam packed. So
I was like, look, I was like, Kayla, I was like, is it better than ARC? I was like, because you know, our reunion had drama. She was like, girl, I was like, no, because you know, last season, Potomac, I said their reunion was off the hook. I said it's better than that. She was like, can't nothing touch our reunion. I was like, oh,
I'm trying to tell y'all, it is just off the hook. It's off.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm
nervous. I'm honestly nervous because there's so much stuff. I'm just not even me. I'm nervous for other people too.
Wow.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Kayla, quick question. Do you, like you kind of touched on it earlier, but do you feel like this experience has really benefited you to make sure that you don't repeat the patterns of someone like Mike or these people that obviously, I mean, look, from watching it, I watch Mike and I get disgusted. I'm literally like, I throw up in my mouth by the way he treats people from what we see. It's very boyish. It's not the way a man should act. So it sounds like you've let that into your life before. And I'm sorry, we've all experienced people like that. It's the shittiest thing in the world. It's really hard to heal from that and move forward. Do you think that you got the fundamental tools necessary to really break that pattern and open you up for real love?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely feel like I have.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's very exciting.
Yes. So I don't even remember what the hell we was talking about.
The game.
So after the game. So after the game, Randall and Trinika. Oh, does anyone else have anything to say about the game? Because we went off track. Okay, good.
Oh okay. No, it was fun. I liked this. I thought it was fun. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I did too. It was a good, because he was like, this is the first time ever in Ready to Love history. And I was like, I'm here for it. I wish we would have did it.
A lot of those.
Yeah.
AKA the reunion. Another one.
And another one. So moving forward, Randall and Trinika walked into the romantic date, and Randall expresses his disappointment because there were no mermaids, boats, or helicopters. Trinika is excited though, and they do get their feet washed, and they discuss the dating game that just happened. During their eye-gazing moment, Trinika does say that she didn't feel Randall was 100% tapped in, and he felt very distracted. Like she knew when he was there and when he wasn't there, pretty much. She says that she gave him a foot massage, and then, everything was good. Randall says that by the end of the date, he did feel like it was more than a friendship with Trinika, and it was unfortunate that it was so late that he was having these type of feelings for her. So I'll go first. He looked like he did what all the other pictures that had winner. I'll post them if you like. Winner. And he just was like,
you know what I'm saying? Put it in the garage every night. So we started.
Like, that's the energy that I got from him during the foot rub. It just, love you, Randall, but in real life, it seemed like it was so forced. It didn't seem like he was having a good time. And I know that he says like, this is her like element. It's not really my element. And I appreciated him saying that because this is her element and I'm trying to make a connection with her, I'm so glad that I'm able to share this with her. But it just didn't look like he was honestly pretty much tapped in. It looked like he was going through the motions. I feel like at this point, why even try to, like, I felt like he should have just been honest with Trinika and be like, I think you're a sweet girl. I really enjoy her, because he has 2 other connections. Like, you don't need 3. The game almost over now. Like, you don't need 3. Like, hold on, whose TV is that? What's
Sorry.
Oh, okay, girl. So it just made me feel like this is a great opportunity for him to be honest with her. You know what I mean? Like, LJ's gone, like, and also too, it would have mentally prepared her to be like, you know what? I respect you even more for being honest with me and telling me. Like, that was a great opportunity for him to do that. But for him to be like, no, we had a great time. I felt more connected. I felt this. And then for her to be like, dang, I'm rubbing your feet and all this. And then he ended up eliminating her. I would have been like, run, Joe.
Hell no.
I would have been upset. I would have been like, hold the heck. Like, you didn't, just like she said, like, you didn't fight for me. Like, I thought, even though we know that LJ was her strongest connection, but I would have just been like, oh my God, like, that would have just been a great opportunity, because the energy that he was given after the foot rub, like, oh my God, this is, I feel so much more connected. And at the day, he just was like, why are you mad? Like, why are you so upset? Dang, I can't believe she acting like this. Well, we figured, I'm jumping y'all. We figured out, you're not ready to love. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, keep that same energy when I was rubbing your feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, what in the world? So I understand her frustration. Yeah, exactly. Like, I get it. But anyway, go.
Randall was stressed out. I think he was probably thinking about what.
He said he was exhausted. He was like, man, I'm freaking exhausted.
And he probably was in the back of his mind thinking about, Jamala is going to question me down about this date. So he was stressed out. I don't know. I don't think it ever crossed his mind to be like, let me let Trinika down easy or whatever. He probably was not thinking about that. He was like, enjoy the date, but I know I'm going to have to face Jamala when I go back in there.
It was frustrating the hell out of me. Like, I understand that. I understand that he might be a nice guy. I understand that all of that might have felt good to him. You know what I mean? But at some point, you got to make a decision. You know what I mean? And stop using language that gives the woman hope, right?
That's called selling dreams.
Yeah. And
bunch of dreams.
He was still doing it at the elimination date.
Right.
Talking about he want more. And I'm like,
right.
What are you doing?
Oh my God, we moving forward.
Like, it don't make you a bad guy to end it. Like, this is the process. I'm sure she
makes you a worse guy by doing that. Actually.
And you don't have to say like, I don't like you. You could just say, I'm working on something stronger over here.
Right. Like, that happened on Justice's Day. Whoever was on it, because that's what they did with Justice. Like, he not even thinking he going home. Like, I'm like,
that was me.
It was KAYLA.
I was like, but you know what?
I broke it. You start with a good. Then we come in.
I
started with the good, and then I started giving him all the grievances, letting him know these are the issues that we have with you, so he would know like why this was happening. Not like I'm
right. No, Randall was like, "Girl, we're going out tomorrow night. I'm about to buy you a ring. What kind of chicken wings you want?"
100%.
That's the vibe that she was like, oh my God, I'm so glad she was clueless. She had no idea about what the things that he was saying. If it was me, I would have not thought that I was about to be eliminated. Oh, I'm so glad
we both knew it was a bubble date though. So we knew it was going to be.
She ain't really act like she knew. Until I'm telling you, as soon as because I got to really watch this stuff. As soon as he said, me and the guys got together with Tommy, she was like, oh no, we not doing this. We not doing this.
Yeah. It's because
her whole demeanor changed.
Yeah.
Maybe she could feel his energy.
Because it felt like he was using the other guys as an excuse.
Correct.
For the elimination. Like he kept mentioning the council and all that. And I'm like, Randall, how do you feel? How do you feel about these women, right? How, like, because your counsel ain't gonna be living with them, going on dates with them. Do you know what I mean? So I just felt like the only thing that was clear was that he didn't feel strong enough to let someone know like how he felt. And you know, we always say no answer is still an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So if things don't go well with him and Jamala, it's gonna be understandable because he ain't been clear. You know, it's kind of like he's letting the process play out for him instead of just him being honest and saying how he feels.
Yeah, because eventually, if he doesn't make a decision, Trinika got to make a decision. So I feel like he was not trying to be in the boat of cutting it off and ending it. I feel like he was just thinking, whatever's going to play out is going to play out. I'm just going to keep it copacetic, which is not the right answer because she's picking up, you know, that he's still interested in her. But I think a lot of dudes do that. They expect you to like wade through everything and be like, okay, but if you don't say it, I don't know. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I get it. It is the absolute worst.
Well, you
because
did
because you don't normally do it, right? You normally don't do it. You just kind of ghost.
You are different
in real
because
life.
You actually, were comfortable with telling somebody that
I was not. It was the worst.
But you were comfortable doing.
He just said he's. I
felt like I knew I had to do it. You know, but it was definitely not easy. So I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
But at this point, like it's way too late at this point. You know, like they're going to the house with 3 connections. Come on, man.
So with this picture being up, if you can look and you can see, this picture is where the where the tennis table was. When me and Randall were playing table tennis with Swayze and Cadian when we first got there, the first day. I had on the white.
I remember.
This is where that was at. This is that area. So if you see ratio-wise, it's pretty close to the main house, which where the rest of us were.
So they're not even away. They're not even away. They're still in the same. I didn't even notice.
I mean, it's a mansion, so it's big. It's away, but it's a mansion. But it's still like, you know, it's still like if someone happened to be looking over a balcony at the date, watching the date, they could do that.
So he might be having a little PTSD still, thinking somebody may.
So Kayla, are you telling me that you're a professional stalker?
Yeah.
Me? Oh, honey, that's not my role on the show. What's my character? That's not my character on the show.
That's wild, though.
That's
like
taken off the show.
That's not me. I don't know, but that wasn't me.
She don't know who was looking up the balcony. It was not her.
But it was not you.
See the dinner table?
It was Jamala.
Right there.
It was Jamala, right?
Randall was
I got the picture. You know I got the screenshot.
No,
I have no clue. I was in my master bathtub taking a bubble bath. I have no idea who it may or may not have been.
Let me find that screenshot.
Well, I do want to say that date looked amazing. That is something I would love.
It looked fabulous. Okay, I wanted to be on that date.
You wanted to be on there with Mike.
With Mike,
you should have been on there with Randall. That's what I think.
Yeah, but I needed to choose Randall, and I felt like
that's true.
Between, I don't know, I just felt like Jamala would win. I felt like I could win with Mike because
honey,
I'm like, look, that would have been you. That would have been Randall, and Jamala would have been sitting right there.
Them toes would have been away from me. Randall is an athlete as well. You out your mind.
Jamala would have been right there with the pillow in her lap. Like, y'all go ahead, it's cool.
No, honey, boo boo, no. Everybody get. What happened to crisscross? This supposed to be meditation or some shit. Why are the feet out? Put them away.
They had their feet washed.
Okay, well, Trinika went back to meditation style. Randall would have had to go right back to meditation style with them feet. For me.
What you mean his feet? Why you keep saying his feet?
He's an athlete. First of all, I don't like feet. I know that a lot of people like Sharice's feet this season for some reason, but I don't like feet. Just period. And then an athlete who has feet? Absolutely not. Well, everybody got feet, but you know what I'm saying.
I'm with you on that. Don't put your feet by me. Nothing.
I don't like feet. I don't like nobody's feet. You know, I'm not into feet.
I ain't into feet either, but let me tell you something. If they attach to the right person,
Same.
If we're in a bath, sure. If we're in a pool that has chlorine, sure. But you just walked around barefoot outside this mansion?
Honey, call me Krishan Rock, honey.
See, now, if that was me and Devin on that date, I definitely would have played with his feet.
Oh.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying anything was wrong with his feet. Like, I'm sure his feet, they look clean, you know, but I don't like feet.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that I like feet if they're fine enough. If they're fine to
like
me,
pretty
all of a sudden feet are my.
But men don't have those.
Oh,
right.
When I see pretty feet, I get very excited in a minute because that's one thing I'll look at and I'm like, damn, he has ugly feet, and then I'll be like, oh, he has good feet. Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yep.
Like, look at Randall's face every time. It seems like every scene with Trinika, like she's leaning into him. He like, I'm not gonna reach. Like his face, he just looked like
he looks a little miserable
the whole time. Even when they was like, the winner is.
You know, I do want to say something though. If I'm going to be really blunt and honest, and this is from what I've seen on the show, I haven't seen this, like, which is really surprising to me. I know, sorry, I keep backtracking, but I haven't seen this connection with you and Randall, Kayla, like that I see from you now as you talk about him and how much you've brought him up. So, I mean, that sounds unfortunate for you that we're not even seeing that.
I saw a little bit. I saw that hug. It was, you know, I seen it.
Yeah, I needed to see more for me to get excited about anything. I was like,
we had a date
that's
right
exactly
before.
What I'm saying.
Like, it just was getting painful for me to keep watching. Like, dang, I'm like, this gorgeous, beautiful woman, and these dudes over here tripping. And they playing with her emotions. I was yelling at the TV, mad. Like,
me too, girl. I was like, wow, I can't believe you said that, you know. But yeah, I mean, we had dates, but I wasn't like, you know, like Randall said on the date with my friend, like, oh, we just haven't had the time. You know, it wasn't that I wasn't making time. So it just was what it was. But we had more dates. We had like 2 other dates that aren't shown. One right before the house. One like the day before the retreat. Yeah.
And even after all those dates and up until the retreat, you still felt more of a connection with Mike than you did with Randall?
Well, what I wanted and felt like I needed and what I wanted to pursue versus wherever I felt like physical connection, you know?
Right.
And Kayla, was that you that mentioned not showing the jet ski? Was that you and Randall?
Yeah, we went on the jet skis on the retreat as well. I don't know why they only showed 2 couples, but it was the 3.
See, there you go. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I would have loved been able to see that, to witness it, to kind of just have a point of view on it more than I, you know.
Yeah, and we
played on everybody else I'm watching.
We played tennis. We played tennis with Katie and Swayze for a while, and then, you know, yeah.
Who won?
I actually can't remember who won.
I'm a huge tennis fan, that's why.
I can't remember.
Well, it must have not been that good of a date then, the tennising.
Well, I mean, it was just we were gonna go get in the pool, and we were like, let's play some table tennis before we go get in the pool, whatever. Because me and Swayze were the first 2 people there, and we played when we first got there while we were waiting on everybody. Everybody took mad long. It was just me and him there. And Swayze is funny, very, very funny. When we first got there, there was the lady that crossed, because this was like on a bay. So there's a house across the bay. It was like where we were on the surface of where the peak of where you go out to the intercoastal. And there was this lady in the house across the way or whatever. We were just walking, like just the 2 of us. And lady went off and said, hey, how you guys doing? Swayze goes, hi, how are you? They were like, I don't remember what she said. Something, oh, your house is so beautiful. And me and Swayze looked at each other. And then Swayze just started talking. He said, thank you very much. We just closed 2 weeks ago. And we We just played like this whole role, like we were a couple, and like that we own this house, and that we were filming our life, and like it was just so fun. Like he's hilarious. Like he is really funny. He just is like a funny guy, you know.
Mm.
He'll just make up shit and just like make everybody laugh. It's really funny.
Real quick, I don't know who has a TV on or something, but everyone in the chat is pretty much saying that someone has their TV on and it's causing an echo and background noise, and they're having.
Might have been me. I just turned it off.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, guys, to interrupt. Does anyone else have anything to say about the Randall and Trinika date? No? Okay. So moving on, KAYLA pretty much expresses her disappointment in how Mike and Randall consciously chooses to not see how she's doing. She says that they haven't checked on her to say goodnight, nothing, and pretty much that they just don't care. And, you know, she just, you know, pretty much expresses her frustration, and they still, like, she's in the kitchen, she's going around, and they still don't say pretty much anything to her. Like, she's literally like I showed the picture earlier, like she's disgusted, and she's letting them know, and they're still not saying anything. Like, how do you feel? How do y'all feel about, because my thing is I'm like, I know you see me, like stop playing, you know what I mean? How do you guys feel that they didn't say anything to her at all? Because I know how I felt at this very moment when I saw this, because I was like, girl, pack your stuff. I was like, let them know, like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I just was so over it for you.
I feel like it's on the men. You know what I mean? They just don't seem to be well versed in having adult conversations.
Yeah.
You know what
They're
I mean?
not moving with intention, that's for sure.
I don't think it needed to even be that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A little bit of clarity would have gone a long way.
Yeah, facts. Like, they didn't do anything. They just were like literally sitting there, just like completely oblivious to her. It was like they saw her, but it was like, I ain't gonna say nothing though. Like, I'm gonna stay real still in the corner, and maybe she don't see me. Like, that's just how it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
No, I mean, there were times that we talked in the kitchen, like throughout or whatever. You know, I would be over by the coffee thing, and he would come over and be like, "So how you doing?" Da, da, da. And it's just kind of like, "Oh, I'm cool," you know. But everybody else is kind of like in earshot, so he's just kind of like surfacey.
Yeah. Miss Janika Thompson says, how did you feel in that moment?
I didn't like that moment at all, because it's like, for me, I just didn't feel like it needed to be that way. I get it that we're in the presence of everybody, but like when I'm single and dating, I make all the people I'm dating feel special. I don't feel a need to like I don't know. If they understand that you have other connections. So why is it a big deal that you converse with them? You know, I don't understand that at all. And also, I think because I'm non-reactive, they didn't feel like they needed to do anything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like with my other cast members that were like visibly upset and like going in on them. Like when they did whatever they did, I'd be like, okay. You know what I mean? Like the first morning, I was supposed to cook breakfast. It was supposed to be me and Sharice cooking breakfast. Mm-hmm. I come downstairs, they're in there cooking breakfast. But I'm not about to be like, yo, what? I went over and got me a mimosa and sat down and talked. Let me know when the food's ready. Like, I'm not like reactionary like that. I'm not about to be doing all of that. So, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Moving along, the very next morning, Samson and Sharice are in the kitchen having a conversation about Samson being on the bottom. And he mentions to Sharice, pretty much jokingly saying, Samson was thinking like, how did I get here? And his response was, you know, he knows exactly, but he thinks he knows how he got there. He states that sometimes patience makes someone who is interested in you think that you are not interested in them. And she was very, very disappointed to hear that. And it didn't seem like she really agreed with what he said. So I thought that was a good moment for us to see and for me to know, like, maybe they not gonna work out because it just seems like they just keep bumping heads. And I know in the very, very beginning of the season, I said that, I did like Samson from what I saw on TV. It seemed like he was a really, really nice guy, but it was like, it's something about Samson. And I'm going to honestly say, as the episodes go on, and shout out to Samson, he does, and, join us in the chat sometimes. He does, comment and talk to you guys. And he's been on with us before, but moving on, as time goes on and the more episodes that I do see, what I was kind of feeling about Samson is what I feel like I'm starting to see. And I'm not going to voice it until it's the very end, until I do my conclusion of how I feel about everyone, from the show. But I really feel like that Samson's true colors are starting to come out. And I just feel like he does seem like he's secluded, and he doesn't want to open up, and he just doesn't seem like he is connected with this process anymore. I feel like we were getting happy-go-lucky Samson, positive Samson, life coach Samson, Samson the Great, and I just feel like that what he was showing us was everything amazing, but exactly who he was. Like, I want to see the good, I want to see the bad, I want to see the ugly, because what's going to happen is I'm seeing all this amazing stuff about you, and I'm like, oh my God, he's so amazing and so amazing. And as soon as something happens, it's like, whoa, horsey, like, what the hell? Like, this not the Samson that I know, you know what I mean? And I just feel like over time, and the episodes are going on, I just feel like, I'm not saying that it is him, I'm just saying, like, this is what I'm seeing on screen. It could be editing, it could be whatever, that they're going to say, or people can say, or whatever the case. But I know, like, what I see someone that I feel like hasn't showed up this whole show. And, I would love to kind of figure out who he is. And I would, hope that he kind of proves me wrong by episode 14 or whatever, by the, reunion or whatever. And I'm just like, oh, okay, now I understand a little bit better. But just unfortunate that, I just feel like that's just what I see, because I didn't want to be, in my opinion, and how I felt about him, I just didn't want to be right, I guess, because I was like, I don't know, like, he's growing on me. But, I don't know. That's just where I'm at. I'm just glad that Charisse, is asking the hard questions. I appreciate her for that. And I appreciate that, she's not backing down for him. And I love her for that. So it's just my opinion on it.
Wow.
Well, I'll talk about Samson first, because y'all know how I feel about Samson. I am disappointed. Like I said last week, I feel like he is taking steps back while the rest is moving forward on this process.
Yeah.
And it's starting to show from what we witnessed on this thing. I don't know. He hasn't hit me up on Instagram, so maybe he's mad at me right now for talking like I did last week. So I'm going to keep talking now, so we probably won't hit me up again. But he just seems like there is some intimacy factors that are lacking from him taking the next step to actually being with somebody, not to coach them, but to actually be in a relationship with them. And I think we're all starting to see that, because to me, I'm starting to see Swayze, who I started watching the whole show, and I was like, this clown. And now he's all up in here love boating. So it's like, there's definitely been a shift in the dynamic with them. And I still have hope for Samson, because he just seems too well aware. But even people that are well aware, we can get in our own way. So I don't know what that looks like for him in the future. But I do appreciate the way Charisse is handling it and standing her ground. But I also can't tell if maybe he's not giving more because he's just not into it. And he's just there for production. I can't figure that out yet. And I'm sure we'll find out more as the time comes. And she's obviously falling for him, because when he puts on, like, when you put on like he does in the beginning, who's not going to fall for you, right? But it's the follow through. Are you going to follow through? Or are we going to actually continue to fall? Are we going to catch ourselves? Or are we going to find ground together? That has been eluded and to be seen. And yeah, I don't know what's going on. So I had to just put my piece out for sure. But he still look good. Go on, Samson.
Yeah, still handsome. Handsome as ever.
I definitely heard that very first comment different. I thought he said, people mistake you having patience as if you do care, or something like that. So that's the way I heard it. And then I was like, wow, like, I think he's not in it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh no.
I feel like
I'm sorry, Tyrone, but just to let you
Mhm.
know, so you can say the right thing. I literally stopped and was like,
okay,
because I paused it and typed.
Mhm.
I went back because I wanted to make sure that I heard it
That's
correctly.
good. Okay.
So that is what he said. If you want me to read it to you again, I will.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
No, will you repeat it for me, please? Sorry.
Okay. I sure will. I'm sorry, Tyrone. We are so sorry we keep interrupting.
Cool.
He says that sometimes patience makes someone who is interested in you think that you are not interested in them. So do you see what he's saying? He's saying pretty much, like, because I'm not rushing into it with you, like, and I'm trying to have patience with this situation, you thinking I ain't feeling you like that, but I am. I'm just trying to be patient because it's only been 3 weeks we've been into it. Like,
no,
dang.
we're at this point, we're like at 6 weeks.
Oh, I just was kind of
we're at like, this is like the 6th week.
Yeah.
Or it might be
so
7.
That's what he
so that's an 8-week process, but it went on 9.5 weeks because remember Looney got COVID. So we were, you know, switched the schedule up kind of.
Yeah. And FYI, I was just throwing a time out there. I didn't know how many weeks it was.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to say, yeah.
Hey, if he listening, it's just my opinion, right? I feel like he's checked out already.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like, and I think I said it with Gojo. I said, I feel like Samson's just waiting to get to the bridge and choose himself.
Yeah.
You know,
go off, Sabrina.
That's how I feel. I think it seems like there's some type of avoidant attachment style. So when you get to that position where you're past your representative stage, because I feel like that representative stage comes easy for him, and you really need to make a decision on whether you're going to be with a person or not, then there's a higher chance that you're just going to walk away from it because maybe you're just used to not having it. Do you know what I mean? So instead of making the choice to proceed, you know, you're just gonna check out. And this may be another situation to where there's no clarity there, right? It seems to be a theme, and it's just gonna have it play out where it gets ugly, and it doesn't have to get ugly at all. You know what I mean? And you can kind of see it a little bit, like just the way that he's acting, because we're seeing a totally different Samson, right? And I had mentioned that I want to see how he reacts when, you know, there's someone that doesn't agree with him, or how he reacts when, you know, everything is not hunky-dory and people just don't love him. You know what I mean? Like when he ain't saying all the right things. Yeah.
We've seen that.
Yeah.
At the dinner when Brandy criticized him, at the date with his friend when Brandy criticized him, when Looney criticized him, you know.
Yeah. So
we've seen it.
And I think that's just what's playing out right now.
Yeah.
Like the whole, it was cringe when he was like,
quite a few of the men on the show are like,
yeah.
Quite a few of them are very defensive when people,
challenged,
when us women ask some of the hard questions and then they make it about them.
Yeah,
they're a problem.
I don't think that was a bad question at all.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Yo, what's good?
Yeah.
You know, we're on a date. We're fine. Like we're on a one-on-one date. What do you think we're going to talk about?
Right.
He said something along the lines of making sure that my needs are met as well. But that it's not coming across that way by any means. It's feeling like it's his needs that are only the ones that matter.
No,
so,
I feel like I feel like he wasn't listening to what she was saying.
Yeah.
You know, he was just reacting.
I mean, we could talk about it. We could skip ahead. I got my notes.
Oh, we not there yet?
We not there yet.
No, we not? I thought we were. My bad.
No, we was talking about the kitchen scene and how we were just talking about when they were eating, like literally, I mean, it was a very short scene. Remember, he was like, come on, you want to help me pack? She was like, okay. And then that was it. Because y'all haven't left the house yet. What y'all are talking about is when he went to go get his facial from her.
Yes.
Right.
We were
shop.
to go.
Yeah, that happens afterwards, after everyone leaves.
I'd be
So,
forgetting how in depth we go.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do gotta say that her little facial face looks really cute.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
It is.
yeah.
You can find more info on it. I actually went there. It's on my Instagram. I have a whole reel of my experiences. Fabulous. You can see that over there.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely check it out when I'm in Miami.
Yeah, shout out to Charisse for being an entrepreneur and a businesswoman and having her own. I really
Boss
appreciate
lady.
that. Yeah,
Yep.
boss lady. Okay. So okay, let me not move forward because I'm looking, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna post this, I'm gonna post the picture. We're not gonna move forward. Okay, so does anyone have anything else to say so we can move right along and get to the good stuff about Charisse and Samson with that scene? Because we got a whole nother scene when he go to get the facial and with that little blow up that happened. So okay.
I feel like that's what I was just talking about. Everybody else.
Yeah. So Charisse also says that she can tell when a person is into her. Hold on, am I skipping over and being at the bottom? Oh yeah, she says that she can tell when a person is into her and that she isn't sure if Samson is just going through the motion or he is really into her. And she does say that on the green screen. So moving forward, Jamala and Randall have a sit down by the pool, and Randall says that he has been intentional since day one with her, but he wants Jamala to be comfortable too. He says that he needs to reassure her how he feels. He has other connections, and that he does want to figure out. But for her to hold on. But he doesn't want her to take away how he feels about her. He says that it's a disconnect, but it doesn't matter because either way, he's going to be there for her pretty much. Jamala says, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to read what Jamala says, clarify who you're here for. Randall says, I'm here for you. And she's like, yeah, but she wants to know, like, does his other connections know who he's there for? Randall says, he doesn't think that matters. And she's like, what? That absolutely does matter. And he's like, but yeah, the real question is do they care? I'm like, what, Randall? You talking at the side of your neck. You start to sound like Samson. But I was just like, hold on, what? The real question is do they care? Absolutely, they can. Come on, stop. Like, you're deflecting now, and it was making me feel some type of way. She was absolutely valid. So you telling me you did? He like, yeah, girl, like I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? You my number one, but you got to calm it down, girl. You know what I'm saying? You got to calm it down. I got to go over here and do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? So I can stay on the show for me and you, boo. You know what I'm saying? I still got to do what I got. You need to just relax. We gonna end up together, shorty. Like, chill. Like, that's what I got. Is that what y'all got? Or am I crazy?
So I feel like he said that because the other connections probably weren't giving him that question down like that. I don't know. But he did also say either we're going to leave here together or we're not. And I took that and cut it out.
I mean, I can understand, you wanting your lady to have some confidence in what y'all have, right? And I'm sure they probably had a bunch of conversations about this. But I feel like in this situation, in that moment, that was the opportunity, again, to add some clarity, right?
Exactly.
And it just didn't come off that way. It's like he's still being nice. He's still giving everyone hope. And then I feel like, that might have been the opportunity to end things with Jamala too, if he felt that,
He did absolutely the opposite. He reassured her in that conversation once again that no, you it. Like, don't worry about them. They irrelevant. They disposable. That's how he was sounding.
Which was frustrating because then at the elimination date, he's still talking about how he wants more with Trinika. So
yeah, how does that feel, Kayla, watching that?
By the way.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to think when I seen that. I was like, that's how that went?
Yeah. Oof.
Wow.
Yeah, because you had no clue till you watched it on Friday.
You need some sage? I can burn some sage for you right now.
Nah, I'm good. Nobody was in my house.
Oh, shot.
So just to mention the comment that Marriott said, if you want to bring it up.
Hold on.
That is what I believe was happening. Because like I said, me and Randall got into a fight because I walked in and I saw that situation was more serious than he was leading on. And he admitted to that. He admitted that Jamala had been his priority over me. And that's why, I hadn't been getting as much time. He told me that, you know what I'm saying? But that he still wanted to work on, and like he still had a connection with me, and wish that he had, like, this trip made him wish that he had spent more time with me. So he did, you know what I mean, on that trip, make it clear that she was 1 and I was 2, but she wanted she wanted him to hurt somebody's feelings and make somebody feel hurt and feel bad and like embarrass somebody. That's just what
her ego was bruised.
I didn't take it that way. I took it as her saying, "Hey, at this point, somebody."
But why would she say that? Because there's no way that him and her didn't have a conversation about what we had a conversation about that night before.
Because to watching it looked like he just wasn't being clear about his intention and leaving everything still open to interpretation.
He was doing that as well.
And then it felt like it was just her saying, "Hey, like, somebody's feelings are going to be hurt, but eventually you got to let them know where you stand. I can't do it for you. You know what I mean? Like, you got to let someone know. And if I have to leave, and if I have to leave to make it easier for you, then I'll do that."
Yeah, but that's also you don't think that that's manipulation? Instead of letting someone make the decision that they want in their time, in their process, you're going to say, if you don't do what I want you to do, how I want you to do it, I'm going to remove myself.
I didn't take
it that way. That's still a form of control.
I didn't take it that way because, as you can see, he still has never made a decision. Right. He would have never made the decision.
He just told her, "I'm here for you."
Yeah, she knows that, but that's not what she's asking. She's asking, do the other women know that?
Correct.
And he didn't confirm that. He just said, do they even care?
And obviously not, because you're watching it back and you're like,
I mean, like I said, I found out that night, but I didn't know whether I cared or not, but I was upset about it. And that's why, like, the next day I picked Mike for the game. And that's why, we stayed after. I was just like, I'm over this, And then we had that date after where it was just kind of like, "Randall, what do you want to do?" And he's just like, "I can't give you no answers right now, but, I still want to blah, 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 so I don't know."
I'm so
awesome. So can I ask a question? And I know that it was not on film, but when you saw him and Jamala making out and y'all got into an argument, and what did he say to you, like, when you caught them, like, and you said, like, y'all were arguing, you and him were arguing back and forth, like, what did he have to say about that? Like, how was how did he come off? Like, was he like, "No, you shouldn't be upset," like, "No, it ain't like that, I'm like," and did it happen in front of her?
It didn't happen in front of her. It was in my room. It seemed like he was upset that I was upset, but at the same time, he was like, "I understand why you're upset." And I was just like, well, what's really going on here? Like, it's a lot more going on than you led on.
Right.
And then he basically was like, "Yeah, you're right. There is a lot more going on than I led on."
Because you and him weren't like kissing or anything at this point, right? Oh.
And is this what, before he asked you, did he ask you to stay afterward? When did he ask you to stay after? Because that
was you were the second day. That was like when we all were leaving out.
Before you were leaving. Okay, so copy that.
Did y'all ever get to talk? When you said, okay. Were things clear in that talk? Were things made more clear in that conversation?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're not gonna.
Is this? Sorry, I'm a little off right now, but is this when she was kind of like getting at him, like kind of yelling a little bit? Was this scene, or was that later? Is that a preview? I'm confused
What do
right
you
now a
mean?
little bit. When Jamala was talking to Randall, and she was just being a little more, you know. Was that this scene we're talking about right now, or was that later?
I think that's the preview for next week.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Really? Because next week we meet the parents. I don't know.
Gus, what was it again?
Well, she was kind of just going off on him, and she was like, "Was that this?" Where she was just being like,
"Yeah, that was last week actually, where she
right,
yeah,
right." Because someone actually just said, "What did y'all say when she came in the room to get her hat?" Because she was like, "Excuse me," but her stuff was still there. But she
came in to get her hat, which I saw on the screen. Is what happened. I asked him, like, his energy kind of changed, like he seemed upset. So I was just like, "Are you okay? Like, are you good?" And he was just like, "Yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm perfectly fine." And I was just like, "Well, why is her stuff?" Because it was his room. So why is her stuff in here anyway? You know? But certain people, you know, once everybody had their room, certain people was just like, "I'm about to go put my stuff in their room." You know? For me, I was just like, we all dating all each other. I mean, nobody's committed to me. So I'm not trying to have nobody in my bed on no national TV. I'm good. So I went to my room. I ain't trying to insert myself into nobody else's room because what? No, sir. Bob, not me.
So did they sleep together? Did they stay in the same room together? Mm-hmm. Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I would not want to have been you on that trip. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That does not sound fun.
Dang.
It wasn't fun at all.
You said it too. You were like, that was miserable. And I felt everything. I was like, dang, I hope she leaves.
There was one point that I wanted to get to, Sabrina. That's why I asked about it. Is when the way that something does bother me, though, about the way that Jamala chooses to communicate with Randall. We kind of touched on it last week, but it kind of feels like she's being a mom as opposed to being like a partner. The way she talks to him, I think Jamala. Yeah, I don't vibe with that. It's the same thing that women want from men, right? They want men to communicate more effectively. I think women can do the same thing. They can communicate a little more effectively without that like aggressive, like mothering approach. It feels like, you know, I get that, you know, men tend to learn from women more often or not, but like, I think there's a better way of going about it that actually is going to allow people to hear it. And then you're not substituting a mom as a partner, if that makes sense.
I agree, Gus, but I also agree that a little bit of clarity could have prevented that. Like Kayla just
100%.
admitted that he said that there was more going on than we know. And if Jamala knows what the deal is, but nobody else knows what the deal is, imagine you in Jamala's shoes. You know, you're dating.
Yeah, I mean, once hearing that, I understood a little bit more
Yeah.
while she was feeling some type of way. But yeah, y'all, when y'all making suggestions in the comments, remember, like, this is over. There's nothing I can do. The show has been over. Filming has been over. It's over. This has literally like been over since June. So we have to just remember, like, I can't do anything. What happened. But yeah, I mean, I guess I get where she was coming from, but I'm different in terms of like how I respond to things. So I don't know, you know, but as women, we're emotional. So
we can be
sometimes.
Yeah.
Things happen.
I just think that in Jamala's defense, I think that she was just as frustrated as you were. You know, I just feel like in her head, she feeling like he's trying to sell me dreams, and it was making her feel some type of way. And she wanted to call him, you know, out on it. And I think she was more emotional about it and more boisterous about it because, like, in my opinion, it's just what I think. It's just TV show. Y'all keep it, don't cuss me out. But I feel like that they're being intimate, like off screen, on screen, whatever. I feel like they in a whole situationship. You know what I
To
mean?
have that type of emotion. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why she's so frustrated, because she like, I get it, it's a TV show, but you're not gonna be out here making me look stupid. And that's the energy I'm getting from her. You know what I'm saying? And
But there's a better way to approach that, though, as we talked about too. It's like we're grown. We're in our 40s. It's different.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just kind of like,
I do understand her frustration.
Yeah, but you're also different though, because at this point in your life, you wouldn't allow yourself to get to that frustrated place to even react like that, and even have to have that conversation. It would be cut short and be like,
remember,
you can figure things out. When you figure things out, I may or may not be here.
But you got to also remember, Gus, I got like 14, 15 years on her of experience.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. Yeah,
so
exactly. And that's what I'm just...
Sabrina, 33, probably would have acted just like her.
I did at 33 act the same just way as her. Exactly. That's why I can say this.
Yes. Yeah. So.
I think it just depends on how you react emotionally. I'm 30. Well, I was 30 at that time. And I just don't. It had been 6 weeks. Okay. I just don't feel like I can do that much in that short of time. But if we were spending time like they were spending time, who knows?
Right. And that's what I mean by it's different, because I just feel like they were more physically involved, and, with the woman, like, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm just,
Y'all talking about Jamala and
Randy.
Yeah, thanks for the pause. I've been in and out while I was doing what I was doing, but yeah. I don't know. Jamala is a lot for me, but I get it what you guys are saying when you're 33, this and that. But
so let me show you where we're at.
What I would like us women to know and to digest earlier in life is that a dude is always showing you exactly where you stand with him. Mm-hmm. When you have your own healthy boundaries and your desires of the way you want to be treated, if you're not getting it, bounce. It's really simple. I'm not going to sit here and ask you and fight and beg. And so the second I feel like I have to ask you where we stand, you're cut. You are, not me. You can do whatever you want to do. You got to go because you don't meet the standards that I require to be happy. And if that's not a priority to you, even in dating, then I'm good. Like, I really am. And I really want us to get to a place where we understand that more collectively. Because I know how it gets. Obviously, I've been a ding dong in my past. Okay. Like, I put up with more than I should have. And it really, maybe was a lack of really understanding how this thing works. We get taught, have grace and space and be understanding for people and not at the expense of you ever. So I'm gonna need Jamala. I started in the beginning really liking Jamala and her energy. She was so cute, but this thing that she's doing, I don't like. And to me, what makes it sound a little off is that, and this is, again, Gus, I know you already gave the disclaimer. We're watching. So I don't know what her and this man have been doing behind closed doors and what it really looks like. But even for me in the game, I could see that Randall does like romance and like to do this and that. And he feels and thinks that way about himself. But for Jamala to guess in Netflix and chill, I'm kind of trying to wonder the level of what he really was giving to her, or if she's just being so parched for his space. Yeah, that she's just like, we could just sit. I don't know. I don't love the interaction. And Randall either. He's not being as straight up as he could be. And this is where I feel like a lot of men drop the ball. Game, show or not, have some intention. If you like that girl or you don't. Make it clear.
Real simple.
But
it's not so simple when you're 30. In your 30s, it's not. Trust me.
But it is though.
Could it be?
It's not an age
it could
thing.
Be. It could be.
I could be 30. I'm 30. It's not an age thing. It's just a personality thing, and it's also a situational thing. So
it's wisdom.
People have multiple connections, and you don't have anyone else to show you attention while they're showing other people attention. So you're just higher in your emotions versus like, for me, when you have multiple connections and somebody pisses you off, you can just go to your other connection.
Or if somebody pisses you off, do you? You can
Right.
self-eliminate.
You can just go and like that's just more my personality. Like when dudes start acting up, I'm not gonna like try harder and like do that. I'm about to go find somebody else. And then when you see me over here, you're gonna be hitting my phone again and watching my story again. And it's gonna be like, no, you know, that's just me and my personality. I think it's more of a personality thing, not an age thing, you know.
Well, I've stayed the same in my personality, I think, but through my age growth time that I've grown older, the way I handle things changed. My emotional complexity, where I come from, my intention, my heart, that's all the same. But the way I handle it is different because there's growth there. And it's not me putting down an age thing by any means. It's just saying that with age comes time and understanding and wisdom. It's not personal by any means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
The
and let me
wisdom.
clarify, that's actually what I was trying to say too. Like I've been through it. So it's like I kind of know,
Likewise.
you know.
Likewise.
I'm not
Look,
saying
to be
like,
this,
because I know some
to be
53-year-olds that
misunderstanding.
I've dated, and I'm like, what the? Like, you
100%.
53 and you for the
100%.
streets still? Like, stop. You cannot be a rapper at 53. Stop. No, I'm just
Some people have really bad FOMO.
I mean, hey, but yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's-
definitely a wisdom thing because once the experience happens, you have to learn what that means to you and how to navigate it in your own way. You can be secure with yourself or know what you're not going to put up with and then be in a situation where, hold on, how do I balance my emotions, what I really want, what I really think of this person, and then how do I communicate that in a way that makes sense to them and me? And that, to me, regardless, like you said, of your age or whatever, it's a wisdom thing.
Does anybody?
Girl, I was 28 throwing water bottles at a boy in the basement of a club. So, like, trust me, I get it. Moved to New York for his dumb ass. Okay, do you know what I mean? Like, trust me, I've done really stupid things. So
I was kicking in.
We all have. We all
at
have.
33.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
I
all
know you've
human.
been there.
Yeah, but you have to remember the older you get, the shorter the clock. So the more intense things may be because you know.
Yeah. I think as you
don't
get
have as
older,
much time.
You get a better understanding of what your boundaries are, and then you start to care less about how other people feel about your boundaries. You know, to me, like that's true self-love. Like I love myself enough to not care about how you feel about how I feel about myself. I'm not accepting it, and that's it. You know.
You can't
Right
hear me
there,
if you can't
Dr.
see me, then
Hunter.
what are
Yeah,
we doing?
I was getting ready to say, Dr. 100% says the fact that everyone on Ready to Love is between the ages of 30 to 50 years old on a seemingly intentional dating show, the men should have behaved more intentionally.
I mean,
preach.
come on.
Honey,
I mean, the women too,
Preach.
though. The women and men. I really think both of them have to be more intentional.
Yeah, I agree.
I've heard
but,
some really crazy comments from the dudes this season. Like really crazy comments from the dudes. Like
I'm talking about all seasons that I've watched, not just this one. I mean, like, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of this stuff has been wild.
What's Sabrina say?
She's saying it, but
What?
intentionality.
What? Wait, I had to step away for a second.
Oh,
No.
I'm sorry.
I missed it, like in real life, I started to walk away. I gotta go twinkle.
No, we were talking about the crazy comments that we heard from the dudes this season about women having to choose them and make themselves available and all that stuff.
they're
Because they
not even
bees,
available.
and I was like,
not even available. They're not even letting us make it so crazy.
But like, where's the sense of pride these days that men have with like leading? I see so many men getting upset online about women being too aggressive or women shouldn't be chasing after men. And they've said particularly about this season, like these men are acting like the prize and the women are. Where's the pride that men used to have about really having that intention and scooping something up and having that self-knowing, like, this is mine, this is what I want, this is what I'm doing? I'm not seeing any of that here. And I realize we're on a show and I could only guess the producers are kind of like, Well, I feel like there's some lines that are being pitched to these people, like saying kind things and just being like, well, I have more connections. People are constantly saying that, but just the pride of intentionality and making a choice. Like, I would just love to see the men like lead for me in
That's
that
not gonna
space a little
happen.
more.
It takes a special man, because that's what I like. I like a man that's gonna hunt, that's gonna chase, that's going not chase, but that's going to pursue, right? But in 2022, there is a really bad movement out there with these men, and it's called the scarcity mentality. They're pushing the scarcity mentality. There are more of you guys than there are of us. And then when you take out the ones that aren't straight, you take out the ones that are in jail, you take out the ones that are full of shit, there's only a few of us. So you have to get whatever we give you. And you need to work and compete against other women to get this.
Yeah, but that still changes.
That's what's going on right now.
But that's
and
not
I'm
cute.
not
That's,
with that shit.
That's
So
not
that's
giving,
why, I'm doing what I'm
That's not giving. If that's what the mentality is, that's sad.
It is a representation of like real life people walking around here dating off TV.
I think
it's crazy.
I think I may come up with a new term. It's called simp shaming. Where fellas think that makes you a simp, to actually be a good dude.
And
publicly.
be intentional on like pursuing a woman and doing kind things, and like it's like, oh, you a simp for her. And it's just kind of like, no, I'm a gentleman that sees something that I like and that I want, and I'm gonna pursue it.
Correct.
Versus just kind of like, well, what are you doing better than the other women to make me choose you? And it's just kind of like, for me, it's kind of like, I don't know if anyone's religious, but your relationship with God is not based on acts. It's based on belief. And I feel like very similar to you, like the relationship that you have with someone, it has to be mentally emotional with them about who they are, not just based on the acts. You know what I mean? Because if it's the acts, then like anybody can fill their role. Anybody can do just do these things and be the one for you. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just my thing.
And there has to be some intentionality. And when I started watching this show and you say ready to love, the word ready really says that you've done the work. And I believe that when you know yourself combined with intentionality, you don't gotta swing from the chandeliers to make yourself seen and known. There's something unsaid that this man knows and sees about you, or vice versa, that draws you together because you know of the value of the work that you guys have done. And it has less to do with, like you said, Kayla, with what you're doing, and more about your belief, who you are, and what it is, as opposed to this task list of whatever it is out there right now.
So, does anyone have anything else to say?
I have 10% on my ears.
Okay.
I don't know what my other ones are.
Say it one more time.
I have 10% on my ears. I don't know what my other ones are. So,
okay. So pretty much, I don't know if you guys want to touch on this, but I will read the notes if you have anything to say, because I know we did briefly touch on this when when Kayla met up with Mike towards the end. But I'm gonna read my notes if y'all want to say anything. We can't. If not, we can move forward to the date with Samson and Sharice. So everyone is packing up to leave the house. Kayla says that she is frustrated because the trip didn't go the way that she wanted it to go. She feels like that she wasted her time because none of her connections didn't even try to connect with her. Randall walks Jamala to her car. Mike walks Brandy to her car. Mike then walks over to Kayla after Brandy leaves and says to her, he knows exactly. He's like, I know how you feel. I just want to let you know I'm sorry, girl. You know what I'm saying? I apologize. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to lose you, girl. I don't want to lose you. Sounding like an R&B. Oh, he didn't sound like an R&B song. That's what it was just sounding like one. And that he's pretty much still wants to work on their connection. And Kayla says that it's just unfortunate that he had to wait until the other girl, had to leave to do, what he had to do and what he had to say. And that was pretty much effing weak. And she still asks, like, was it real? And pretty much Kayla says, I don't know, but I'm going to still try to find out. you know what I'm saying? If that thing is, you know, thangin', if it's still real, and that she is gonna go see, you know, if what he's saying and everything that he had just said is real. So, any thoughts? Any thoughts?
Well, I think Kayla, you said right that you don't know when that was actually, if that was taken out of context or not, right? Earlier.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was because I don't remember saying that, answering a question to what I'm to like that moment. I don't remember saying that. So that could have been from me talking about something else that happened in the house. I have no idea.
Oh shoot. And y'all know my notes, they be exact because I be watching, I be pausing and typing.
How did you feel about that moment? Because I remember there was a moment in the house and they was like, oh, Brandy, you look like you're like the wife, blah, blah, blah. And Kayla's like the hot side chick that something, whatever it was. How do you feel about the moment after, you know, Mike left and then slid basically by the car to come talk to you after Brandy left? Like if that soundbite wasn't, you know, accurate, how did you really feel about that? And how did you view him for acting that way?
I thought it was lame because we're all single and we've been here for 6 weeks. So this whole side chick narrative is really ridiculous because we're all single. No one is in a committed relationship. I don't believe anyone leaving the show saying like we are exclusive. So I don't know. I don't really know why it's that narrative versus just the two of us have a connection with him. I don't know why, and one of them stronger. Why is it that we're all single? We just met each other 6 weeks ago. What is happening that I'm a side? You know what I mean? But like, you know, I felt the way I said on there when he came and talked to me when we were leaving, because, you know, I was just kind of like, it was lame. It's lame. Like it feels like instead of just being honest and being like, I'm spending time with my connection, you are trying to sneak around. Like you don't have to do that. We all know we're here on the show. We all know we're here dating. We all know we're in the process. Why are you sneaking and doing stuff? It doesn't even make sense to me. But also, I don't know what the other women are saying. You know what I mean? I felt like there was a lot of pressure from within both of my triangles from those women for the men to act the way that they did, like to be colder when it wasn't really necessary. If you're secure in your spot, then why can't we just be how we are and you see it and say, okay? Because that's what I would have did. You know what I mean? Go spend time. Talk to her. But we know where you're going to be, you know, at the end of the night. That's just how I would have been. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have made it a pressure for him to feel like he needed to just like, don't, you know what I mean? Like anytime me and her talking, I'm gonna stand over here and look and like, you know what I mean? I don't need to do that. That's just me. But I felt like both of them felt like they couldn't be how we are whenever we're just on dates or whatever, because maybe it would have caused strife. No, I know that for a fact. It would have caused strife in their situations with the other ladies. So
yeah, I don't like that at all. And I have to commend you. There was one point where you were like, I've just been so nice. And I'm like, yeah, I'm with her because I don't even know, you know? And I think that both of these guys perpetuated that narrative with the way that they treated you. And that's why I brought that up. So you're right. Everybody's dating, you know, but the way they're trying to sneak off to the side and act like, you know, because they have two other people that either they have a tighter connection with them or these women are more verbal and more, they finna get the smoke at home type of a deal. I just feel like these men, Randall and Mike, kind of helped perpetuate that narrative or that joke or that moment when it comes to you because the way that they acted as opposed to what the situation really was.
Yeah, girl, it was tough. You know, it was rough for me. I guess at this point, moving forward, you know, it's a lot of ego on my end, you know, because I'm like,
so when you were leaving
I got
on this show, how it really went, you know, or whatever.
That's real.
No, I had a follow-up question because I had like, I gotta ask. Let's hypothetically speaking, there was someone on the show that you're in 200%. You know, you had a strong, really, really strong connection, you know, early, and you two built something really, really strong. You're clearly the number one connection, but he's got another connection there at the house. Would your narrative change about how you feel right now? Would it be that easy for you to be like, hey, go ahead and go talk to her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like
You really are for the shit.
I have dated men in spaces. So that's just how it is. Like, if they have to be in spaces where they're around a lot of women, like I've dated people who have been around a lot of women that have been very thirsty for them because they are an athlete or like they do whatever. And you just have to be secure. You have to be secure. And I know that. So I would always be that way. Even in this situation, I would be that way. You know what I mean? I'd probably be talking even more shit in the confessional. Like, look at him over here playing with these girls. He's just playing with these girls. Look at him. That's probably how I would have been. But it's like you have to feel secure in your connection. Like I said, there's no reason to actually be upset unless you feel an actual threat.
Say no more. That's loud and clear.
So when you was leaving the house and you were like, when he was saying, you know, like, I'm sorry, I still want us to make a connection, etc., and you were like, I'm gonna go find out, like, did you at that point, were you really like, I really want to find out, like, if it's true, or were you like, you know what, let me go see what this dude's talking about, because I know he full of games, but you know what, I'm gonna see what he got to say. Like, were you there, or were you like, no, or were you really feeling like he was genuine about what he was saying to you?
I was like, I mean, it was a bad situation for me because I was like, he is full of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's full of shit. But I don't know. Mike is a professional. The way he talks to you in person is crazy.
Oh, I would have felt for someone like Mike like when I was in my 20s and early 30s. It would have been a wrap. I would be broken from it, for sure.
You know, because I like, it's like, you're full of it. And we've had deep conversations. So it's like, I know what you're doing outside of the show, you know, but I mean, I already signed up for this. I'm here. So let's just see what happens.
I find it interesting because you keep repeating that, you know, it's like we're dating each other. We're all dating. It's been like 6-9 weeks where we're all dating. Why take things so personal? But at the same time, this isn't like the dating game. This is ready to love. So it's like, when then does that shift from just like, I can keep dibble and dabbling into the dating situation and being a part of someone's throuple or whatever that, like, you know what I mean? Like, integrating myself through the process of them. But like, then when do you go into, I'm here for love. I'm here for love. Like, if I were you, I would self-eliminate at this point, because I wouldn't be feeling that I'm falling in love with anybody. I would feel like I'm just a part of somebody's learning process, and that's not what I want to do. So that's the thing that's tricky about this show. It's like, yeah, it's a dating show, but it's also like ready to love. Like, I'm expecting love from this, not like to get to know someone.
Yeah.
KAYLA, have you ever considered self-eliminating?
Mm-hmm.
When did it hit you?
Such a
good question. Yes, because I was like, girl, I feel you, and I know, and you know what, and I said to myself, watching you, I said, let me put myself in her shoes. I said, you know what, she might be thinking how I was thinking. Regardless, if they're not gonna if they're not gonna eliminate me, I really want to see this thing through, because I really don't know how it's gonna end, and I don't want to pull myself. I mean, and you probably didn't think like this, but that's just how I was thinking. And I didn't want to pull myself out of a situation when all I had to do was wait one more episode, and then someone popped up, and you know what I mean? And I said, maybe she's like gonna give the process a real chance.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was very committed to the process. Felt like I was the only one that actually did the process. I gave multiple people chances. Yeah. I never counted anybody out except for one person. I was open with people. I talked to everybody on the phone. I was getting to know everybody there. You know, even though there was one person I liked the most, I was doing the process, which was don't attach yourself. Don't put yourself in your eggs in too many baskets. Take time to get to know people, because people are who they appear to be in the first 3 weeks or 4 weeks. You got to give it time for the representative to go away and you to see who you're actually dealing with. But I feel like I was penalized for that through the whole process. It's like, oh, you kiss this person, and then you kiss that person, and then you were out with this person, and then you did, and it was just kind of like, isn't that what we're here
supposed to do? Right.
So it was just kind of wild to me, because as we saw, everybody kind of attached to one person. Like even Swayze said he was not dating multiple. So he didn't, you know what I mean? He was the one person not giving it to anybody but Katie, and he was not open to seeing other people. And you know, Jamala never had another connection. Brandy and Samson, like, you know what I'm saying? Like me and Trinika pretty much were the only people that were connected to multiple people. Everybody else never really had a second connection. Like, let's be honest. So
yeah, so that's like back to this thing we talk about often. Is it ready to love or ready to date? Because I'm looking at Swayze and Katie, and I'm not, I mean, just objectively, it's like I kind of would prefer that, like, or the Clifton and Joy from last season. Like, if you see somebody, you know it, you like it, and you're working on it, stick with it. Why I got to go see what all these people is doing when I like you? It could all be so simple, but this is not on. I do think that you and Trinika did play the game, so to speak, the right way, in the way that the show is set up, which you're supposed to do, get to know people and all this and that. But for me, when I'm looking at the show, is it ready to love or is it ready to date? That's two different things. And I don't know.
That was the process that I was told that we were doing. I was not aware that there was another way that we were supposed to be doing.
I think you did it in the format of the show, but I'm more talking about the show itself as opposed to the contestants on the show. As a watcher, somebody who's not ever been a part of the process, what am I looking at here, you know, as a whole, the enterprise of the show?
I mean, who knows? There could have been people that have seen this show before and see the people that attach to somebody often make it to the end, and who knows?
So does anyone have anything else to say about them leaving the house? Okay, moving forward. Charisse wants to take the time to deepen the connection.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you need to time somebody out or block them from the chat.
I did. This is the same person. I did it already. Like, what? How they keep coming back? And my girl Tiffany, she gone.
Why are people so bored? Like, what are you doing?
God.
Like, come on.
I don't even want to know.
People have absolutely no lives.
But when trolls do that on your live, that means that you popping.
There you go.
Hey.
Look,
oh my God! Look, it's like they're back to back to back.
Oh, okay. Well, click on that one. Click on that one.
Stop. Yes. Oh my gosh. I think I got it. Oh no, there's more. What the heck? It's like they're coming from all these different channels. It's like 7 different channels just now.
That's crazy.
What the heck? Oh God. Okay, sorry guys. Oh my God. All right, because Tiffany was my mod and she just said goodnight to everybody. So I think I have a couple more. I think they're going to. I'm not sure. Okay. Moving right along, we have, let me get my thoughts back together. Let me know if they pop back up, because when I have my notes up, it literally covers the screen, so I don't see y'all or anyone. So Samson goes to visit Charisse to go get a facial at her business. Sharice wants Samson to pretty much open up to her, and Samson wants to know how she brings home the bacon. Samson tells Sharice that he hasn't cried for over a long time. Maybe it's due. The last time he cried was when his dog died in 2011. She asks, what is he afraid of? And, or was he afraid of his emotions? And he says that no, he definitely embraces them. Sharice wants to take the time to deepen their connection. She wants to be a positive piece in his life, but there are a lot of things that she doesn't know about him. And she feels like, you know, she needs to know these things about him. She wants him to open up more. Samson pretty much replies and asks her, you know, does she still have reservations? And he's like, you know, and she's like, yes, you know, kind of, yeah. She is still, and he's like, well, why are you still questioning everything after everything that I've said to you in all my actions? She says that it isn't pretty much just you questioning or I'm questioning anything. There are just things, they're just having a conversation about the process, which is healthy. She is trying to figure out why it's always so surface with him. He asks, what does she have planned for the rest of the day? She says she doesn't want to talk about that. She is present in this moment. He says there has to be balance, and he is present too. He says that she has to do a little of what she likes and what he likes for this to work. He says that it's just only been a few weeks and it's going to take some time. Samson says that he came to the salon to relax, but once again, Hurricane Sharice comes in and starts asking questions that he's already given the answers to. They give each other the fist pump. Sam, the man, Sharice, the woman. Sharice says it shouldn't take this much effort to get to know a person and to open up. She says that maybe at this point they won't work for each other. She isn't willing to be with someone who isn't willing to open up, and she feels torn. I'm sorry, that was a lot, but that was a really, really good scene. So thank you guys for patiently listening to my notes. So
those are fantastic notes.
Thank you so much. I work hard.
Yeah.
Weird. What'd you say, Kayla?
Very
weird.
Weird.
What part is weird to you?
All of it.
All of it.
I don't know what to think. It's just strange.
It really is.
Yeah. Like I wonder how much of that was edited. It definitely wasn't a good look for Samson. You know, I felt like there was just regular old adult conversations. And then especially, you know, at his big age, you know, that's conversations that he should be expecting at this point, right? It's week, what? You said 7, 8,
this
9?
Was week 7 or between 7
and 9.
It's like a couple months.
Between 6 and 7.
Homie, if you are 40, sorry, we're in our 40s. No,
yeah. At this point, it's clear that they are their top connections, right? So
are they?
This is.
What do you mean? They were making out at the house. She was on his shoulders in his bikini. She was sitting in his lap.
I don't think we saw that. Yeah.
They're clearly. I don't know.
So
did you?
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to ask Kayla, did you get the vibe since you were in their presence that this was a real thing? Because I don't see it on camera, but I'm just saying.
At the beginning of the trip, yeah. At the end of the trip, I was like, what's going on here? You know, there was a whole situation. Oh, yeah. There was a whole situation that second morning at brunch, honey. You know. I was like, oh, I don't know about this, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I said it earlier. It seemed like he checked out. He was just ready. He's just ready to be out at this point.
Feels like he's performing because he has to at this point to be there.
I wasn't getting that at the time. I just didn't understand him, and I still don't know if I do. But I always knew like he was a good person at heart. But like... So the second morning, right, where you see, no, the first morning where Tommy comes in and we're all sitting at the table. The guys went outside. We're all sitting at the table having breakfast, right? We're all talking, and I was telling the girls how I loved our dance thing, you know, the night before. Like, let's do some TikToks. We were talking about like doing TikToks and we were doing stuff, you know. And the conversation got like spicy or whatever. And like Sharice made a comment, you know, some type of spicy comment. Like we having fun. And Samson like hopped up and was like, I don't know about that kind of language at breakfast. And that's too much. And we all was like, and it was crazy because, you know, Katie and Sharice was beefing, but Katie started like defending Sharice and was just kind of like, whoa, sir. Like, what was that about? That was kind of weird. Like, you don't have to criticize her in front of all of us. Like, what is that about? So when that happened, I was like, I don't know what's happening here because I don't know. I just got so perplexed and confused after that because Sharice is like fun, you know, and Samson, you know, similar to what he was saying with, you know, Brandy, like, you're a little too spicy, you know, or whatever he said to her. What did he say to her?
He was talking about how she was dancing, like, oh, I saw you. Yeah.
So when that happened, I was just like, oh no, I don't like that. Like, Sharice should be able to be herself. It was fun. It was funny, you know. We're grown, so shit's spicy and spicy, you know. But I was just kind of like,
we gotta just let people be who they are, and I think people really get wrapped up in trying to make people something they want them to be. It's just wrong. It's not okay. We do that a lot as a society right now, and it's not okay. We need to accept people for who they are and let them be who they are. And it doesn't seem like he's doing that with her right now, from what you're saying. And
he was making it seem more like decorum wise, there are just things that we don't speak about in certain places. And listen, I'm a young
can speak about that if I want to.
I agree with that, but we're on vacation, or we're supposed to be on vacation. I wasn't on a goddamn vacation, but we are on a vacation, right? We're here to have fun. We're drinking mimosas. We're drinking liquor at this time of morning. So, I mean, I don't know, you know, that is when I started like questioning their compatibility because I was like, I don't know.
And then it's okay to let people be who they are. And if you don't like them, that's cool. Like, if you don't want a woman who will have mimosas and say something raunchy and that's too much for you, then just find yourself someone else. It's really simple. If that doesn't work for you, then but to make them feel bad or to say, oh, here comes Hurricane Cherie, or, you know, all of this extra stuff is unnecessary. Like, if you don't like it, then that's where I don't, you know, I don't love that behavior at all.
Like I said, I didn't know what to make of it, but I just started seeing him like differently, you know.
It's interesting.
He also didn't hang out at any point in the house either. So I was just kind of like, why didn't you stay up with us? Like,
well, I get it. I'm only 40 and I want to go to bed at 9 o'clock.
We're on vacation.
Yeah, I don't have that energy.
What are you talking about? We're downstairs. We're all drinking. We're all having a good time.
Yeah.
He was down there. Mike was down there for a while, but he started feeling sick. I don't know if he drank too much or what. He started feeling sick. We were all down there hanging out.
Kick it.
The girls were dancing. We was kicking it. Sharice was down there, and it was just like, where is Samson? Like, I don't know.
No, totally. I'm messing around, but yeah.
But he is 48, so you know, maybe he needed his rest. I have no idea. Spunky. Okay.
Spunky. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't even know if I want to. I've dated a Morehouse man before, and he was kind of. I'm not saying it's the whole thing. I don't know, but I just got that same exact energy from. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's like the standards they discuss, what they do or don't want to see, but I feel like I've encountered this energy before from a Morehouse man. Anyways.
That's right. Yes, he is a Morehouse man. Mm-hmm.
What's a Morehouse man?
The college.
Morehouse College. Sorry.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. HBCU.
Yeah.
Well, I know in one of the episodes when we did a live, I want to say when he was on with us, he was going back and forth with Jamie. And there was someone in the comments saying, oh yeah. And they were like, oh my God, calm down, this, Samson, that. Oh my God, oh my God. And then there was a person that was like, I went to Morehouse too. That's how Morehouse men act.
Okay, there you go. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm not
okay.
And I was like, what is
So yeah,
going
he was just
on?
being that then.
Okay.
I was like, what the heck is going on? I don't know what that is. I've never dated a Morehouse man before. I don't know, but
I'm definitely way too spunky for a Morehouse.
He's a Kappa.
No,
if he's a
somebody put that in the comments.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Kenya, what's up, girl?
Well, if that's true, then I don't want to hear nothing about no raunchy behavior. I don't want to hear none of that, because when Kappas, they be capping and they be capping.
Yeah, but there's also that double standard that some men hold. They want to kappa and be capping, and then want their lady to be.
Yeah. That is a thing in these more professional environments. It's kind of like, I have the right to, a key that can open many locks, but a lock that whatever.
Basically.
It's so wrong.
It's just a shitty lock.
Right. You say, oh, that lock is shitty and not valuable. But a key that can open many locks is a master key.
Yeah.
Well, all I know, I was very, very disappointed at this scene. I expected so much more. I remember in the very beginning of the season, I was not feeling Charisse. And you guys know I wasn't feeling Charisse. And I also said over time that I like Charisse. I'm feeling Charisse. And she has shown maturity. She has shown she is really, truly trying to make a connection with him. And it's just so unfortunate that every time she's just trying to talk to him and try to find out more about what he's thinking and where they're going just to get more clarity, it's like he just shoots her down every chance. Last episode, when they were sitting there, they literally was looking out into the water or wherever they was looking out, and they were just sitting there silence. And I'm just like, it can't be with so much editing, because they showed 4 seconds of them straight of just kind of sitting there. I just don't know why he just can't open up and just talk to her. She says, all I did was ask a question. I just want to know. And Charisse the woman and all this and all, it just really,
it was really uncomfortable
to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it really was. Cause I just was like, I don't know. Cause I really do try not to say so much, but it just really was disappointing to have watched that scene. Especially
his energy was
really it made me feel some type of way. It really made me feel some type of way. And shout out to Charisse. And shout out to Charisse. And just to let you know, girl boss, I love your salon. We love your salon. And you did an amazing job. So way to go to plug it too. Love you for that. But I don't have anything else to say. So whenever y'all are done. Okay, let's move on. Oh God. Just really, he's like, what do you have planned for the rest of the day? I'm like, what? She asked you a question. Answer her. Okay, let me move
I don't
on.
know. Was he hella nervous?
Hella nervous.
So nervous that he was almost angry at her.
Nervous how? He was just making out with her the day before at the house.
But if he isn't cried
with her bikini crotch on his neck, help me understand what he's uncomfortable and
because if he hasn't cried since 2011, then opening up would be a lot more uncomfortable than some of this other stuff. So I'm not shocked. I'm sorry.
Open up though. Who said you had to cry to open up? Why can't you just be share more of, how it was growing up? The relationship with your parents. I don't know. You can share and open up without crying. You don't gotta cry.
Correct. But I just say that because we don't know how people associate and correlate things with each other. So I'm just saying open up to him might sound like, whoa, I'm gonna do this on my own time. We already talked about I'm just trying to figure out where the energy came from, because it just seemed like he was if she's asking him things and he's on camera, and then he resorts to, so I'm watching his body language, you fidgeting. So what are you getting into today? To me, I'm just looking at it all, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just trying to deduce from what I'm seeing. But I saw some, I don't know. Anyways.
So someone said, Joy Presley says that Samson is hiding something. And Mr. S. Thick says, I want to say something, but I can't.
No, say it, girl.
I
Come
mean,
on. Don't be scared. Let your voice be heard.
Oh,
We
it's a
wanna hear
Mr.
you.
Yeah, it's a Mr. So
Let
I
us
would love to
know.
hear a man's
I'd love to
perspective.
know. Because, you know, I see Samson out and about and stuff, but we don't talk like that. Like I see him at cast stuff and that's it. So, girl, let us know. This is a safe space.
Just you and me.
It's interesting because someone said something like this in the comment too, but like when she was a little cold and standoffish, he wanted more. And now that she's becoming more intimate and trying to be warm, he's now wanting less. It's
Oh, that's so
that's a little scary.
Yeah.
Ain't that the typical dating story, right? When he's chasing
Oh.
you and when he's pursuing you, and you
Can't
like,
with the games.
I don't know
Be
what
too
you
old to
doing,
play
boy.
games.
And you like, and then when you finally start giving him a chance and he want to start acting flaky, it's like,
what is that?
And why does this happen so often? Men, why does this happen? Tyrone, why is it that this occurs?
It's that avoidant attachment style. It's kind of like, hey, you know, once we get that 90-day mark, and for y'all, it's accelerated, right? So now it's not the 90-day mark, it's the 9-week mark when we're getting to the end and the whole world is expecting you to make a decision, right? And then if you start to have second thoughts, you know, he's going to find a reason to get out of it. And it could have been the tiniest thing that makes him feel like that reason was worthy because it either, you know, it disagreed with my standards or my thoughts or whatever my family may think. So to him, it's a valid reason, you know, something that he can stand by, you know, and people would agree with. Oh, she did that and you don't like that. I can see why you walked away. Okay, so instead of pushing through that, I'm going to just stick with this. And then that'll be the reason why, you know, I walked out.
That makes sense.
So, you know, instead of just saying, hey, like, I tried it, it ain't working with Sharice and I, so we're gonna end it. You know, some people just don't know how to end it. You know,
or maybe Capricorn Moon Goddess says he thought that she was emotionally unavailable, and maybe he thought that she was weak, or she needed help, or she was someone that was traumatized, or you know, and she showed up like, no, I got questions, you know, and it might have thrown him off, you know what I mean? Because she turned out to be someone not is what he expected, and maybe it's frustrating him. I mean, I don't know, you know?
Yeah, I had mentioned a couple things. Remember earlier when I was saying something about like her delivery could be you know, difficult for some men to take, especially if they're looking too deep into it, right? And you know, we just kind of mentioned that a lot of men kind of want their women to be passive, you know what I mean? But she's a boss in real life, so she's not going to be passive all the time. So, you know, just a simple rebuttal in the way that her delivery is can be perceived as aggression, right? And if you can't handle perceived aggression, you're going to feel like she's coming at you. You know what I mean? And you're not going to continually want that because maybe there's some past relationship PTSD where he struggled dealing with aggression, you know? And so rather than just facing it, he'd much rather just avoid it, you know?
She did seem aggressive.
That makes sense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, to you, it's like a regular conversation, but like in that moment. And then the other thing that I mentioned, since we talked about him being comfortable around Sharice, I felt like it wasn't Sharice that made him uncomfortable. I felt like it was the cameras and the world finally being able to see him because he was really close to opening up, you know, and she was trying to get him to open up, and he may have felt like it was on her terms and not his terms of opening up.
Maybe.
And some people can't handle that. Some
can see
people
that.
can't handle it. You know,
See,
some people
so-
struggle.
I can
But
see
he
that.
came on a TV show to be
It's all
seen
ego.
by the
That's all
world,
ego.
but
But
then
still,
not
all
do it in
ego.
front of the camera.
Some people still skate through all of those weeks and not show nothing.
Understandable, Tyrone,
do y'all
but
know
he's
how-
48 years old.
Okay, but do
He
y'all
doesn't
know
need to
who
be impacted by
vulnerable?
his ego so hard.
Okay, question: do y'all know how vulnerable Phil is? No, right? Phil made it all the way to the couch. We barely know anything about that dude, right? So sometimes, you know, you can get away with it. Maybe just like the whole thing with LJ, maybe he didn't feel it was going that way. Maybe you could just go on a date and be done, you know? But she's really trying to dig into figuring out where it's going to go. And it just seems like he's like, oh, shit, like this is real now. You know, like this is real. I may actually have to be with you, and people are going to expect me to be with you if I continue to choose you. And then if I sit on this couch with you, I definitely ain't going to be able to walk away after that, you know? So, yeah, I'm not going to say it's narcissistic or anything. I don't really know him like that. That's that's like a strong word to put out, but you know, some people just struggle with any type of conflict, you know.
Or confrontation,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I just wouldn't pick him to be the one to suffer with that. What is he hiding? I don't understand why he wouldn't open up though. Like,
it's just, there's no excuse. He's 48 years old. He should know how to have a conversation with somebody.
because
You're
when
right.
he met the friend, he was like, you know how old I am? This is why, you know, because she was like, why are you moving so fast? Or what's the rush? And so if it's a rush, then when you want to make sure that your connection understands that you have a connection versus acting like you don't want to open up.
So meeting the friend, in all honesty, when he met the friend, that's the first time I had noticed something a little bit. I don't want to say fake, but it was something that it was like he knew the cameras was on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to describe it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
Putting on.
It's kind of like, you know, your grandmother is watching you or something like that. You know what I mean? And just the way that he just walked in the room, talked to the friend, and was like, hey, I'm Samson.
See,
You
I
know,
was
and it was
distracted
just
by the fact that she was feeling him. The friend was feeling him.
It was him
Sorry,
introducing himself to the friend, you know, and it was just kind of, it was a lot, you know, just watching it was a lot. And I was like, dang, like you could have just been like, hey, how you doing?
I don't know, because I think if you could have just been like, hey, how you doing? I could have been a little like aloof too. I mean, that didn't really seem like too much. It seemed like someone who was intentional. So when I watched that back, but you know, maybe some people need just someone to be like, hey, what's going on? And that's enough for them, you know? But I understand hear you saying that it could have been a little too much, but I don't know. Then why did the friend fall for him? You know, like, why was she like, yes?
But
I guess maybe she likes grandmas.
But then it almost ends up being that way in every single one of his scenes. And even just him asking a simple question was like, hey, you guys, how did your date go? So this person said it went well. How do you think it went? And I'm like,
100%.
That don't even feel natural.
You know what?
You know what I mean?
Let me take y'all back to the table scene where he asked the question of what brought everybody there, right? I think that was last episode. Did y'all ever get Samson's answer to that question? Was he the only one that didn't answer the question?
I don't know if I remember him speaking.
Oh, hold on. Say it again. I'm sorry.
When he asked, he had everybody at the scene where Mike was grabbing Kayla's hand. That when they were at that table, he asked them, you know, what brought you all to this point of being on the show? And everybody went down and answered.
He never said anything.
I remember him saying anything. I wonder if he didn't answer or if they edited that part out because
right.
Kind of goes.
We didn't get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Kayla, where you at, girl? You there? We can ask Kayla. She was there. Okay, she must have had to step away. Okay, so does anyone have anything? Okay, like, oh girl, I know that's right. She like, let me.
I was trying to eat too. You know,
I get it.
turning
I
my
get
camera
it.
off.
What's up? I'm hungry.
I get it. No, and we appreciate you for even staying on this long and hanging in there with us. So we do appreciate you. Real quick, I don't know if you heard Demita about when y'all were all at the table for dinner. Mm-hmm. And Samson asked the question about what made you all like come to this point, like you guys, what brought you all here to be on like the show or whatever, pretty much. Right. Did Samson answer the question?
Mm-hmm. Oh, everybody did.
He
so
just
they left it out.
Everybody answered. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I was about to say I don't remember seeing it though.
They didn't show it, but everybody answered.
Okay. Interesting.
All right, production.
Right.
It's only an hour-long show. They can only show so much. So they show what I guess whatever would speak more to whatever's going on. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because
what I had said was, what did I say? I said something along the lines of, I just feel like I'm in a space in my life where I'm ready for that chapter. I feel like life is about chapters, especially as a woman. I believe we can have it all, but not all at the same time, and I just feel like this is now, I'm really ready for my mom and wife chapter. I did my career woman chapter. I did my artist, dancer, ballerina chapter. Now I'm ready for a mom and wife chapter. That's what I said.
Yeah. Do you remember what Samson said? What his answer was and why he was there?
It wasn't too memorable. Something that sounded nice and good and great, I'm sure. I can't remember though. Sabrina, come back.
I can't.
I wanted to see. I didn't want y'all to see.
Like, what did y'all expect? It was something great. It was something nice and wonderful.
Oh my God. Oh my side.
For sure. I cannot recall exactly what he said. I remember Swayze saying he was scared.
Yeah. He was like, I'm scared of love.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all.
Yeah.
Who else said something? I mean, Jamala said something. I can't remember what she said. I think she just said something along the lines of like she's in the space in her life. I can't remember actually. I don't know. Don't quote me. Yeah. I cannot remember what Kadian said. Cherie said something similar to me. We all heard what Brandy said about never having a relationship, and then we all said what Mike said about I was married before. I did this before. I know what I'm doing. And then
that he was the plug.
Just look for outlet.
And then he was I'm not looking for nothing serious. I just need an outlet. I was like, oh.
He said he wasn't looking for nothing serious.
That's what he said.
When did he say that?
I can go back to my notes. Yeah, he said that. He was like, I mean, he pretty much was like, I'm, ready for the next chapter of my life. I want a soulmate. He's like, but I've been where y'all been. He said, but I'm looking for an outlet. I need an outlet. Like that's what
I thought he said he wanted to get married again. I thought he was definitive about that. Even though he doesn't act like it, he did say he wants.
When did he say that?
Married again?
Let me get my notes.
He was actually, because I was actually listening for that. Mike was one of the only ones I feel like who actually mentioned marriage.
Did he say he wanted to be married? Yeah. Because Brandy was excited.
Did he or did somebody else say?
No, it came out of his mouth.
To be married, or did he say I want to be married?
He said he wants to do it again. He wants to get married again. He did say that. Because I was listening out for some kind of intentionality from these guys. And I don't think Mike moves like he wants to get married again, but at least he had some kind of feeling about where he wants to head, I guess.
Yeah.
But he did say that.
Remember, he likes to be cuddled at night. He needs
this is what he said. Mike talks about marrying his childhood love. He says that he's already been there. He's just looking for an outlet and that he is the plug. He said, what y'all trying to get, I already had. He says, I'm just trying to find my soulmate again. And then that's when Brandy says that he appreciates him being vulnerable. And it meant a lot that, he said that. So those are my notes.
Yeah, there's another point in time where he said the word married. I can't think of it right now, but I did listen out for that. Either way, he doesn't move like it, in my opinion, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, no,
I mean, he's only been divorced for 2 years.
Yeah, that's a short amount of time for somebody who was, I guess, high school sweethearts, family. Like, I don't know. If he hasn't been actively healing, I'm not sure about that. But that's just my opinion.
My thing is that's his high school sweetheart. I'm going to tell y'all something. He is finally single after what, 10, 15 years of marriage? You think he really going to settle down with someone to be in a serious, exclusive, monogamous relationship after 2 years of divorce and I don't know how long, but 15 years of marriage, 20 years of marriage, 12 years of marriage, his high school sweetheart? Honey, I would be the biggest hoe I could be and let everybody know. I'm just letting you know I'm going to be a hoe. I like you. I want to continue to see you, but I just need you to know that I'm a hoe and I got hoe ways. I've been married for 17 years. I ain't trying to be tied down, but I like you, girl. So don't mess this up.
I mean, I'm with you, Sabrina, on that. But in my opinion, what I feel about guys like that, men that have been married and have gotten divorced, most of them loved being married.
Most of them do want to be married.
They want to get married again. So
he doesn't, but
not saying he doesn't, but the fidelity and the way they go about getting to that second marriage, that's where that energy that you're talking about, it just gets chaotic.
Frame. I'm just talking about right now within 2 years. Like
I'm
maybe in 5 years, I would be saying something different. Like, no, he really might be ready. You know what I'm saying? My conversation would be different. But after 2 years of that long, honey, he like the same booty for 15 years.
Yeah, and for Miss
like being
Kenya
married,
from Cali, Sharice wasn't the only one that said that. I was actually the one that said that first. And Sharice also said it, and a couple other girls also said it. I'm not really sure why they only showed Sharice saying it, but I was the major one saying it. Like, the whole baggage thing.
I was gonna say
Mike
I know
was
some married
offended
hoes.
by that, and he checked He checked all of us that said that, but they only showed him like talking about it with Sharice.
To Sharice, yeah.
I mean, if you got a couple of bags, you got some bags. Like nobody's, people have been open to dating him. It shouldn't be offensive. You got bags. It's you plus 2 or 3 or whatever it is. Like,
but sometimes
you're not packing light.
But sometimes
she said it's baggage to me. Yeah.
She did say that.
Yeah. She said it's baggage to me.
Come on, when you have kids and have been married, come on.
Yeah, but nobody wants to hear is that it was just the delivery. Like I'm not saying what she said was wrong. It was just how she said it that threw me off.
As he goes along and continues on in his hold'em, he will probably find out more about that because it looks like he's out of practice because if he's only been divorced for 2 years, he's trying to get back to whatever it is. He might really want to get married again, but after he gets some more practice dating, I think this experience probably
Mike is for self. Mike don't follow nobody on Instagram. He don't care about nobody but himself right now. Okay.
That's funny.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. When the show aired, he unfollowed everybody.
Are you serious? Maybe he was thinking about the shit that he was about to be found out and saying, or
he didn't want to be. Yeah, exactly. Who knows?
I mean, it is what it is. Like, kids are a lot. And they cost a lot of money.
It's a different situation. Like, it's different, and that's okay to acknowledge that. The fact that these women, they're still willing to date you and talk to you, like, just, you're good, relax. It is what it is.
We definitely look past it.
As we often do. It's not always a breaking factor for everybody. So,
So does anybody
I can't wait for the reunion.
No.
Does anybody else have anything to say about Samson and Sharice?
No.
Okay. So Randall and KAYLA meet for a date. KAYLA asked Randall, I need to screw this down. I'm gonna scoot this down so I can see KAYLA's face.
She was like, here we go.
That day,
Kayla asked Randall, "Where you at, boo? How are things since the house? What's going on with like your feelings? Like, what's going on?" He's like, "Man, I don't even know how to answer that, man. Things been rocky since the getaway. I'm just so confused. The house was overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm sorry about how I treated you, man. You know what I'm saying?" And then she pretty much explains how she feels. She was shocked. She was neglected. She was rejected. And she had to shake it off. Okay. I didn't have 2 cups of, yes. And he says that he knows she wants more answers, but he doesn't have them for her. Kayla says that leaving the situation, she feels like their connection is even weaker. He has good intentions, but he does not know how to execute. She really likes him, has a good time with him. She doesn't know what to do at this point. He says that he is not about to start BSing her, and she's like, please don't. He says that he's exhausted. She says that at the same time, he is invested in Jamal, and he goes back and forth with Trinika. He feels like he needs to get some counsel. Bam.
Oh, Randall.
Oh, yeah. I'll be honest. Hearing it and then hearing, all of the conversation that we have now gives me a totally different perspective, of that situation and of that date. Like now it's kind of like, bruh, like I feel you. Like that shit is exhausting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And shout out to Kayla for being here, you know what I mean, still keeping your senses, you know what I mean, and not going crazy, and then actually answering all the questions and dealing with the comments and all that stuff. A lot of people can't do it. Like a lot of people literally lose it.
Yeah. With
during
us
the process,
you and
you know what I
coming
mean,
up with our own assumptions and conclusions.
It's very tough. That's
Yeah.
all I can say, especially with certain people that like to make certain content that act like I'm not a real person. It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have a different perspective. It's kind of like I know why he's saying those things now. And at the time, I'm like still saying that he should be providing some clarity. This is the moment to provide some clarity.
Like, I need to get some counsel.
But knowing that conversations were had, you know what I mean, where he openly admitted, to some things. It's kind of like, oh, okay, it all makes sense now.
I feel like he did get some counsel, didn't he? I like that girl that came in when y'all was on the group date and was talking to him. His ex from like 14 years ago or something.
Yeah.
I thought she was pretty spot on with her feels and observations. He got some counsel. It wasn't completely blind.
No, he got counsel, but ultimately men are going to do what they want to do at the end of the day.
And what did
at
he
the
mean
end of the day?
Who is the counsel that he says he needed to get counseling from?
That's
Who was
what
he talking about? Was he talking about?
I have no clue.
Because he said it like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, "Who the hell is counsel?" I was like, "Did I miss the episode? Did I miss my notes? I'm effing up. Like, what's going on? I'm lost." Like, I was feeling some type of way. Like, who is the counsel?
The Lord, maybe he needs some prayer.
Probably a combination between his boys and then
maybe
the fellas lounge.
I don't know. It would. Well, what do I know? I don't know. I don't know how accurate that would be.
I mean, sometimes we know what's best for us, but then sometimes we feel different.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I hope. Well, I mean, it's already done and shot now because I'm like, I hope he gets canceled. But I mean, obviously he did.
Yeah, it's
6 months ago. So
what's done is done, people.
Yeah, I'm glad that I commend you, since you're here in front of us. I commend you for letting him know exactly how you felt about, the house situation, about you felt rejected. You were, disappointed. Like, I'm so glad that you really, voiced your opinion. And it's so sad that you had to go through what you went through, and you told both of the men and Mike how you felt. And it was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, for me, my thing is, and especially like the men that I deal with, and I'm just getting a little personal. I try not to talk too much about my personal life, but if I'm dealing with a man, if I'm dating a man and he's like, I'm sorry, nigga, you not sorry. Excuse me.
No.
You're not sorry. If you were sorry, you wouldn't have did it. You are grown. You know right from wrong. You know what you was doing. You knew exactly what you was doing at the time when it was happening. You decided to do this. You decided to do that. You made the choices that you decided. Sorry, I'm in. You decided to make the choices that you decided to make. So for you to come back and say, "Oh God, I'm so sorry," you making me feel like that you insulting my intelligence.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And Randall didn't like when his intelligence was insulted because Jamala was doing the same thing to him when he was confronting her about her behavior in the house. Like, so it's just the games. And when you can really see, it's just like, bro, come on. Come on.
Like,
I mean, between the two of them, I did feel like Randall was more sincere and like caring about how I felt. Like he did bring it up a couple of times in the house. He brought it up after, you know what I mean? He you know, even when we had a little argument, he understood. He's like, I get why you're mad. Like, I know why you're mad. You know, I understand. So to me, he genuinely definitely cared more. And it upset him to see me upset versus like with Mike, I was kind of like, I don't know what he's doing over there. You know,
that makes sense.
I give people grace. I do. But my thing is if you got to say out your mouth, I know why you upset. Then why you make me upset, dude? Why you put me in the position to make me feel like how I feel right now? Why you do that? Answer that question.
I mean, he just said he was trying to manage the whole situation and manage all the different women's emotions and reactions and everything.
Maybe Randall, but not so much Mike, right? I don't know. Mike knew.
Mike was just.
But did he tell you that? Did he tell you that when y'all met up for lunch or when y'all met up?
Randall, yeah.
So because I don't remember him getting too deep into why.
Yeah, I mean, that was when we talked after the house. And I mean, at the dinner, we talked about it a little bit more as well, but.
Do you feel like because you're less reactive that's why these men felt comfortable being like, she good? Yeah, I don't like that.
And the other women were more reactive. You know what I mean? They know, like, if I do that, like, KAYLA's probably just going to get pissed and leave or, you know, just remove herself from the situation. But if I do that with this other person, they're going to, like,
throw a fit.
Have an explosion. So let me just do what I need to do to make sure there's no explosions. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
So I can tell you one more thing. As a man, it comes off as it's easy for you to walk away. You know, and if we feel like it's easy for you to walk away, then it's, you know, it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder to fight, you know.
It is. If you don't give me a reason to not walk away, then it is. Right. And I think at the end of the day, people want the person that's gonna stay.
And this is where choosing and intentionality comes from, because if you was really about me, why are you worried about me walking away, or if it's gonna be easy? Like, they weren't nurturing the connection I don't know. Because God, you know, sometimes they hear guys talk about how, they don't like drama, but yet I look at the women you're with and it's the math isn't mathing. So it's just like, where's the balance?
Funny, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Funny,
it actually is.
Some of the women that, you know, I mean, you know, I talk a little shit, but like for the most part, I'm chill. But it's funny how some of the women that are like the most problematic throughout the season are the ones that the men pick.
They love it. They love it.
I think guys got a little bit of captain in them. You know what I mean? A lot of dudes got a little bit of captain in them.
What does that mean?
We want to.
Oh.
You know, we want to, you know, we want to have a purpose in your life, right? Like, if you don't really need us at all.
No, you want control. I mean? You want control. That's what they want. So if you do something to upset, they do something to upset you. If you react, they have control. They can control how you feel. They can control what happens with you. But with me, if you do something I don't like, I'm about to remove you from my space, or I'm about to go somewhere else. So you're going to have to do more. You know what I'm saying? And just like we were talking about the scarcity mentality. I mean, I don't subscribe to that. There is a new dude every 15 minutes, sir. No, Like either
No,
you're
not
gonna
on my
act right,
time.
either you're gonna act right and show me that you want me, or I'm gonna go back outside. Why would I not? Why do I need
because
to
the
fight
other
it?
so I struggle with this too because there's a majority of women who are, for lack of a better word, willing to chase. And so the women who are in the minority that would like a man to actually pursue them, we suffer for that. We suffer with at that whole situation because all of the women who like to chase are out there like, yeah, look at
Wait, but I don't have an issue with that if I feel like you are a high quality, high value man. I will compete for you. But if you're regular, I mean,
I feel you.
So
you're not
that's
LeBron. Like, I don't know what you think that you want me to help you pay bills. So why would I be? No.
yeah, that's kind of what I was alluding to. Like the way that you so freely say there's another man out there, right? I can go get another man easily.
Very
If I know you feel that way, that means like for me, any little thing will make you go get that other man.
No, it's not any little thing. It's just that you know now that you have to keep up certain things to keep me interested and to keep me here. You can't just be, some people are just like, their presence just makes me feel like you got to do more than that.
Right.
Okay.
So
You can't just be here. Like,
so that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that oftentimes when it's easy to walk away, we don't get that explanation that you just said. I mentioned it as fight, but we're not getting that explanation. You know what I mean? We're not getting, the conversation where you say, hey, I would like you to do this. I would like you to do that. To us, it feels like you would just walk away.
but why do I need to tell you what you need to do? I want a leader.
Because that's the whole
I don't
communicating
want to
thing.
lead you and tell you what you need to do. You should know what you need to do, and you need to tell me what we're doing, not me
So
telling
that's
you
what
what you need to do.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, we can believe we know what we're doing. We can believe that we're doing the right things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if there's no communication and you're just telling me that you just need to know what you need to do, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't really help us.
Yeah, but you knowing what you need to do is you being intentional.
And this is a great
I
example.
understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, right? And we can be intentional. We can do everything right in our minds. But if we still feel like it's easy for you to walk away, to us, it would feel like any little mistake we make, you're gone.
It
right?
depends on why she's walking away, because most of the men who just have
But that's the thing.
They are doing something else. Like,
but
what am
that's
I
what I'm
supposed to do
saying.
while you're over there dating other women? I'm
Right.
dating
So
other women.
But that's what
I'm
men
saying.
want. They want you to sit there and wait until they're done dating other women. They don't want you dating other people. If you're really interested in them, you will sit there and you will wait until they're done being in the streets. Y'all don't know this yet?
I think Tyrone,
I don't think I'm saying that.
I don't
think I'm saying that at all.
Is a more mature perspective. Y'all know there's a spectrum. There's fine lines and nuances. There's some dudes out here acting so trash. This is what has women hyped up. But when you're speaking and dealing with somebody and you're in a mature relationship, and I'm not talking age-wise, I'm talking about communication, desire, intention, and all that, then yes, the communication that I feel like you're talking about, Tyrone, makes sense. But for the games that we're seeing, and just to bring it back to the show, the way people like Mike are showing up, this is where that energy comes from. This is why when some dudes act perplexed, it's like, nah, but you knew what you was doing. You didn't want to see her pop off, so you played me like that. That's what you did. And
because
now
you wanted to prevent her from popping off on you.
Correct. So now that does make women think, so should I start acting a fool? Should I start? And this is when people get out of character. But this is a lower level of dealings. Like when you're dealing with a man who's coming correct, none of this applies. It doesn't even sound like this. Nobody's having a problem, okay?
Because regardless if he's single and it's 6 weeks and he is dating other women, when he's with you, he makes you feel like he's focused on getting to know you. You know what I mean? Like he's able to manage his communication and communicate with all of y'all in an effective way until he decides who he wants to choose, if he is really considering all of you all. Or if you're just another hoe in his phone, like that's my problem. Like I don't know if I'm just another hoe in your phone, you know. So it's like I want to make you number one and you not be another hoe in my phone. But what if I'm a hoe in your phone and you want somebody else? You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna keep until you do something drastic. I feel like as a woman in her 30s, like I don't have time for you. You are going on 40. You should have more clarity. And it, to me, it just demonstrates your decision-making skills as a man, as a leader. And I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying?
And lack
like
of
people that are
intention.
indecisive, like people that can be decisive and know when, where, and how to make a decision is very important for manhood. And to me, it's very important and tells me how you're going to lead our family. And so that's just how I feel.
Real men don't play. Yeah, it's really simple.
Real men just don't play about it. Like if they really about you, you're going to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I feel. And it's so, and I because I don't like to talk about my personal business, but I literally just went through this with someone that was on my line. You know what I mean? And I'm just like they don't get it. I'm like, they don't like stop. Like, and I know out of me and the other 10, I know I'm number one. Like I'm the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
10, damn.
But it's something Simone said on her review. Remember Simone and Rashid? It's something she said on her review. Is like with her and Rashid when they first started, he would be dating other girls or whatever. She would be like, "Go, baby, go!"
Yeah.
Like I want you to test it. I want you to be out here and really make sure that this is what you want. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that is so true. If other women, if you're intimidated by other women and you can feel like they can take what you have, what do you have?
Nothing.
You don't have anything, you know? Like, to me, a man's going to be where he wants to be.
Child, he will be there, but it's
at
still
the end of the day, period.
What he want to do. I don't care. I'm going to keep it 100. This man will love me till his last breath. Okay, and I know that for a fact. Okay, but he just can't just stop being a hoe. Okay, like he can't. And I'm just like,
I cannot.
It's the FOMO.
I can't.
Some men have this real bad FOMO. They fear of missing out something that's outside.
Right.
I don't even think it's that. It's bad practice.
67 years old, he gonna be like, Bree, I knew it.
No, he's in a habit. No, he's in a habit and he never put forth the effort to change. That's why we were talking about ready to love, you're ready or you're not. And it takes work.
Right.
It does.
It's work.
You still want me to
the work? The work's
but you still want me to stick around. He be like, Sabrina, you always running. You always doing stuff to make me run. I'm a track star. I'm gonna run as fast as I can. Stop it. Don't put me on the track. And then be like, why she running? You put me on the track. Like it's a competition. I'm trying to win the race. Okay. Like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Like, you can't expect me to run from you, but you doing things to put me in my running shoes. You can't do that. Like, make me want to put my 5-inch red bottoms on and sit and chill and relax with a glass of wine without the stress of me thinking this nigga's a hoe. He gonna be over here with that. He gonna be over here with like I know I made the comment about Krishan Rock earlier. In real life, no, that's not me. I don't care what. No, you're not gonna have me looking stupid out here in the streets. Period. Point blank. Because guess what? I don't care how much you love me. I bet you with somebody out there that'll love me just as much. That's not gonna be out there making me look stupid and out here, and I don't got to worry about is he gonna bring something home to me. I don't play that.
But we only have to talk like that and act like that when we're dealing with men who are males and they're not being manly. They're not evolved. They're not disciplined. They're not trained. They didn't do the work. They didn't go through it. Why even bother? Why even bother? Honestly, it's just too much to go through that.
It is, but unfortunately, we sometimes are placed in positions to feel like that. And this is someone that actually, this is their second chance with me. That's the thing. How you lose me 2 times the same way?
Because you gave him the opportunity.
No, I ain't give him that much of an opportunity. I was like, you know what I'm saying? You could be an option, you know what I'm saying? You had, you know.
What question, Sabrina? Like, what perception do you feel you're giving to the guy?
The perception, as in, because
how do you think the guy perceives you? What do you think he perceives you?
Oh, as wife,
as a long-term mate?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. And I know that for a fact.
Okay.
Oh shoot, you was with me that night, won't you?
No, I was gonna get into it and be like, you know, if a dude wants you, you will definitely know, right? There would be no question. If he hasn't settled down,
regardless, made a choice. If he feels like I'm sorry to cut you off. Regardless, if he feels like I'm wifey material and I would be great for his children and I would be this and I do everything right and I come home and cook and I talk like he won't, walk like he won't, smile like how he wants. It doesn't matter if the man is not right. If he's not ready, it doesn't matter. Yeah. He gonna live the last day of him being a hoe. He gonna be like, dang, I wish I would have stopped hoeing 6 years ago when I knew I should have been ready.
No. Some of them, he gotta some of them will never, ever stop hoeing.
Not saying they won't.
And I'll tell you why.
They have to mentally.
They're looking for a rider.
I
want to know why. They're looking for their person that's gonna stay by their side and stick beside him through all his bullshit. And then after he's done every crazy thing.
You know what? I don't see no.
Then he'll wipe her and say,
"It ain't enough zeros really behind that one for me." Okay, what's that? I saw a meme on Instagram. They said, "Oh my God, my billionaire boyfriend was cheating. He was doing what? I don't even know what cheating is. Oh my God, let me go fix him his lunch." Like, I'm not going. No.
You said billionaire would it be?
Yes, billionaire would it be?
Billionaire would it be?
Y'all didn't see the little quick video? The girl?
Nah, I'm just messing. I'm just being extra.
Billionaire would it be?
She walked in the house and it was like, I walked in the house and caught my billionaire boyfriend cheating. She was like, oh my God, I don't see. Oh my God. It was like, let me go back outside.
Like, billionaire would it be? Listen, I'm going to the spa. I'll be back.
I don't care. My health.
Go cry in the steam room and get you a little.
I'm gonna go cry in the Chanel private room.
Yeah.
Y'all know I joke. Sometimes I joke.
I mean, because that's how it works. Because I have a friend that dates somebody like a really person. She said she hates when he fucks up, but she likes when he fucks up because every time he fucks up, he has to make up. And he ends up spending like 20 bands, like just trying to make up, you know?
Right. Like, I'm sorry, here go $20,000. I'm sorry. Like, we ain't gonna cheat again. I'm sorry. I can't.
Lord.
It costs to be the boss, okay?
Oh, goodness.
It costs to be the boss.
God, I was gonna say.
I know. I was like,
I was gonna say, I was gonna say, if a man hasn't settled down and made a choice, he either don't want to or he don't have to, right? So if there was an ultimatum provided at some point, he would have made a choice. And then I was gonna say, men cheat, men become hoes because the thrill of the hunt outweighs the loss of losing the girl. Exactly. You know what I mean? I feel like when we meet y'all, we're subconsciously identifying if you're going to forgive us for cheating.
Yeah.
And if you admit to it and be like, I've forgiven in the past, then we'll be like, okay, I got one free shot. You know, I got a free pass. Mm-hmm. It just depends on how I'm going to use it. And this is how dudes be thinking. Like, if you were to say immediately when y'all first meet to be like, I do not play about cheating. There's no closure. If you cheat, I'm out. You know, then he most likely won't cheat if losing you is going to hurt. You know what I mean? If he felt like losing you would be the worst thing that ever happened to him, he would never cheat.
Yeah.
So that's two things though.
Facts.
That's identifying it and saying you don't put up with it, and holding, I guess, the weight or value in his life for it to mean something. Because I've heard, I got homeboys, woman, oh, I don't accept cheating, da 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 da, and they don't mind losing her. Is what I'm saying.
True.
So it has to be both, yeah.
True. So that's why I almost said earlier, like, I know married hoes. You know what I mean? You don't have to.
Them too.
You don't have to get out of marriage to be that.
Yeah.
But I feel like there are things that can help you, right? And knowing what your keeper factor is. You know what I mean? Like, do you even love yourself enough to walk away from me? You know what I mean? Like, that's a keeper factor. Like, you need to use that power. You know what I mean? Use your intuition. Be confident in yourself, but not like in a way that makes us feel like you can leave. You know what I mean? Like, I can feel like I'm doing all the right things. You know what I mean? But I can be doing all these things for all these years. And then if I still feel like it's easy for you to leave, that's not a good feeling. It's like relationship PTSD. You know what I mean? Like,
different.
What am I really working for?
But it's different when you're doing all the things you need to do to make me stay. But if you out there giving me 35% and you still expect me to stay, no. Because it is in my head, just like how you have options, I can have options too. You giving me 35, but I bet you Craig can give me.
They don't want you to have options.
Yeah, they don't. But guess what? I tell everybody that I deal with, especially when I'm single, I tell them I don't like conflict. I don't like drama. I don't like, once it get complicated, we done. I'm letting you know I deal with other people. You're not the only one. If you can't handle it, let me know. We can stop dealing with each other because you could be replaced.
No, they want to ride or die. Someone that will ride and will accept a little piece of themselves dying every time they do some fuck shit and you stay. That's what they want.
Yeah.
No, that's what males want. I don't think grown ass men want that.
I
there
agree.
are dudes out here who roll like that, but it's just our job to really stay away from them. If that's not how you get down, the second you see it, bounce. It's like that simple. Right. Bounce on them.
Because leave them where they show you the red flags. They will show you the red flags quick.
They will leave them there with their muscles, their money, whatever it is. Leave them there when you see it. And these conversations wouldn't sound like this. Like, let them do that with those girls. That's not us.
Right. Exactly.
Girl, you got options, honey. There's another bus coming in 15 minutes.
This is just me. Like, if you forgave me for cheating, I probably wouldn't look at you the same.
If you forgave me for cheating, I know I can cheat again.
Yeah,
but is a dude gonna mess around and find out just to see if, like, take you back?
He is going to now master the way that he goes about doing it so that he can just be better at it and not get caught this time.
But if he's with a real one, he gonna lose the first time and just be sitting there like an idiot and blowing up a phone for the next 5-10 years.
But he would have known that before he even did it.
I bet you many a men can told you one that they lost out on because they thought she would never leave. Or that, you know, many men have that one that got away.
And they probably can't believe she left.
And they see her on Instagram.
Oh, self-respecting ass.
Because they tried it.
They think she's better than everybody.
Ain't nothing in these streets.
Caring about your selfish shit.
All that self-love.
She's all bougie. She thinks she all that.
Loving herself and everything.
Right.
She done posted another picture.
She looked happy too. Just
I posted a picture for him.
Kayla, I know you said you had to leave, but I just want to thank you for
run. I have to get up early.
This was fun.
A lot of stuff out.
This was so fun. You guys have been so gracious.
Yes, I know the show paints people in a different light, and you did a really, really good job clearing up a lot of things tonight.
Yeah,
you're very
so kudos to you. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. So before you go, let everybody know where they can find you, Kayla, before you
so they can find me right here on YouTube at KAYLA.com, Instagram, Twitter at KAYLA.com, TikTok, I am KAYLA.com. So basically the same thing everywhere. I have my show Wednesdays live at 8:30 Eastern. And just stay tuned to Ready to Love every Friday for the rest of the month. Make sure you tune in this Friday to meet my parents, Miss Deborah and Dr. Ward. So I'm super excited, for you guys to meet them. My parents, read them for filth. They worse than me. So I'm super excited for you guys to see that. That's going to be great because, my dad's very philosophical. So we're going to see some interesting things. Yeah, so just stay tuned in. Follow me on Instagram for updates. And I do post like little behind the scenes stuff on there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I appreciate you guys. Though.
Yes.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Yes.
Thank y'all so much. Young Hot Chick is out.
Bye, Kayla. Good night.
Is this Sabrina After Dark now? Oh, Jamie left?
Oh, there
no, I was like, I didn't leave. I was like, what happened?
You said, is this Sabrina After? I didn't even realize. Let me tell you something. When you surround yourself with some good people and some good conversation and some good cheap wine, you don't even realize that 3 hours and 24 minutes has passed. I didn't forget we was talking about the show. We started talking about other stuff. Oh my God.
We went off for a minute. We were like, you know what?
No, it's been longer than a minute. Honey, I looked at my phone. It was like, you are past your bedtime. I was like, oh, dang. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Almost felt like backstage for a minute.
It did. It was giving backstage.
Honey. So let me explain to you guys real quick, the 193 that's watching, everyone that's in the chat, what they mean by backstage is when we be like, all right, guys, thank you so much. We'll see y'all next week. We heard you. Bye. When we click in broadcasting the show in, we still be on the screen talking to each other. Okay.
Yo, and we say the things that we don't really say publicly. Yeah.
Honey, that's the behind the things, boy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so usually after every live we do, and that's a little little fun fact that we don't
Did y'all hear
about.
this? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear this? What?
The language changes, the tone.
Everything.
Oh man.
Oh God. So
we still have like 2 more scenes, right?
I mean,
oh my God, honey,
I don't even know where we are.
I can't even see my nose no more. Like the glasses don't even.
We didn't even do the elimination dates.
Right, exactly. So pretty much, oh God, it's a lot. Like I'm looking at my notes. We didn't talk about a lot. Okay. So the men meet in the lounge and discuss their strongest and weakest connections. Mike meets Kayla. Trinika meets Randall for the bubble dates. Kayla walks in and says that she is frustrated with Mike, and that she isn't confident in their connection. She doesn't know what to trust with him, but she is going to make sure that he feels her frustration because she has been so nice to him, to everyone at this point. Kayla tells Mike that the trip was miserable. He asks why. She explains. She tells him how it made her feel. He then tells her that the men met in the lounge and they said that she was still ready to love. Later in the confessional, she says that walking away, she guessed she's happy that she's still in the process, but she honestly thinks that she is still in the process, but she's not in their minds in the process. Does that make sense? Did I say that right?
Yes.
She's still in the process, but not in either of their minds. And she doesn't know what to believe. Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. Trinika comes into the date with Randall, seemingly like she does not know why she's there. Like she's on a regular date. She does ask Randall why he wanted this date with her. Once he says that the fellas got together, she waves her hand and was like, we not gonna do this. You know, she was like, I don't want to hear this. I don't want, she was like, we not going to do this today. Okay. Randall was like, dang, like she got so upset. He ain't even let her, he was like, I ain't even say nothing yet. And she was upset. And he says to him, it was very hurtful. Trinika says that she don't got no words and she lost respect for a lot of people. And Trinika says that Randall was one of her strongest connections from day one and that he should have fought harder for her.
There's a lot in there.
It was
a lot. And that's what happens when you're not clear, you know? A little clarity could have prevented some of that, you know?
A lot of that.
Yeah, a lot of that. Man, like, again, shout out to KAYLA, because when she left that table with Mike, I was like, man, she gullible. You know what I mean? Like, she either gullible or she just loves being in it with the shits. You know what I mean? Like, she can't say no to the shits. That's how I was feeling. You know?
Was that put on, you think? Or you think that just even from having her on here, you think that's genuinely how she was rolling? She couldn't see?
I was like, what else is left for you to see or hear? Like, you said it yourself. They wasn't really checking for you. And then once you and Mike hold hands, like all that change and y'all calling each other honey and babe and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And then she said she still wanted to see, she still wanted to hear him out or something like that. But after hearing her, it's more like she's saying, you know, she got some things that she needed to get off her chest, really. But
yeah, it's self-eliminating after the house would have been, I guess, the real life thing to do. In real life, that would have made the most sense because it was, you know, very clear and obvious. And then that's when it goes back to like, how do you want to be treated? I would never want to go anywhere with any man I was dating and be ignored, basically, like that, to that capacity. So that would have been better. But the way she framed it, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about her staying. I guess we're gonna have to see next week what it looks like. And then as far as like Trinika, I don't really know what she was expecting because Randall, to me, he seems very neutral with everybody. We met him on, you know, your show. He's very cool-headed. He's very cool vibed. I do believe he means well, but yeah, there is no clarity because he did, after the helicopter mermaid date, really act like he has so many positive things to say. And it's not like you need to say negative things in order to not really be into someone, but I just feel like the way he's talking and maybe the way he's presenting himself could be creating confusion for some of these people. But then at the same time, I know Trinika, and you can see Trinika, she's pretty good at reading people. So it's kind of like, did you really expect him to go to bat for you? Because in the beginning, y'all were tight, but he kind of fell off from her about 5 episodes ago.
yeah. So that makes me wonder, did the word spread? You know what I mean? Like, did the things that KAYLA saw between Randall and Jamala spread throughout the house? Because if it did, it would have been clear to Trinika by now that Randall and Jamala got something going on. But if she was in the house, you know, and it was clear that, you know, multiple people slept in the same room together.
I mean, that seems like a decision right there, right?
Yeah. Then at this point,
yeah,
what is Trinika thinking? And I know it could be difficult, like if Randall still has this language as if a future is a possibility, you know, instead of just shutting it down. You know what I mean?
He's been doing it with the other two.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he do it with Trinika too?
Yeah.
I mean, just like when after the date with the feet rub thing or whatever, remember he was like, oh my God, I'm so confused now. Because now I feel like it's a stronger, even more stronger connection with Trinika because of this. So
that's confusing.
And then he walked into the kitchen. You remember he walked into the kitchen in front of everybody and hugged Trinika like, that was so good. Thank you. In front of everybody.
And he probably really meant that. Like,
yeah.
He probably did, but
Yeah, he
think about
probably
how
did.
that might have made Jamala feel, and think about how KAYLA might have felt. Like, wait a minute, because he was just kissing me. Wait a minute,
Yeah.
because I was just on his bed. Like, it was just a lot of confusion going on.
Yeah.
Like, he has
Reminds me.
placed himself in this position. He's talking about, I'm so stressed out, I'm so this and that. Like, you kind of did it to yourself, bro.
Yeah. It reminds me of that old Mike Epps skit where he got to call the girl back and tell him to stop calling. But then the wife's like, don't be giving her hope. You know what I mean?
Calling.
Right. So,
See, and that makes me wonder how
He must care about how I feel.
Exactly.
yeah. Don't be
that
calling
makes
my
me
wife
wonder like
bitch.
how involved production was with what Randall was saying.
So, but it also makes me think, like, what day was it when Jamala and Randall were having these conversations out there by the pool? You know what I mean? Was that day one? Was that day two? Where she could have been like, bruh, like the whole house don't seem to sleep together. Like, what else do I need to do? What else do I need to say? You know what I mean? And do they care? Like, are you gonna tell me these women don't care that we're sleeping in the same room?
But then Damita, I'm with you. Now I'm like, okay, how much of this is just production? And everybody's like, Randall and his 3 connections. Is this like going to be the storyline for like 5 episodes? Like, is it
why
forced?
wouldn't he just come out and just, I don't know, make it better?
Pull a Swayze?
Because this is...
In all honesty, I think that by the time they get to the house, they need to just choose who they want to be with. And I feel like the show should use the time at the house for the people to like further, strengthen their connection. You know what I mean? That's what the house is for. Like, if they're really truly about folks being ready to love, then they should nurture, what people have spent the last 8 weeks building.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So before you get to the house, don't be going to the house with 2 and 3 connections.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And I think somebody in the comments said that's when it would be nice time to have like some kind of a counselor, some kind of coach, somebody come in and now start to go a little bit deeper into the real connections. Connections.
Because we don't want to see nobody hurt.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense because by this point we're at episode 9 and 10 by the time they go to the getaway.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to make a decision by then. I just feel like the show, and it looks like, I think I said this before too, it looks like the women they're picking, and then by the time you get to this point, they're all trying to be chose.
Itching to be chose, like
and that and then I think the reason why, like, I don't know if KAYLA couldn't self-eliminate or whatever, but like even Trinika too, it's like you hold on to a little bit of that hope of what the potential could be if it does work out in your favor, which that's really nothing but air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I think it would have been a really, really good opportunity to see Swayze and Katie's growth. You know what I mean? Because remember, he explained how, we was bad, but we had talked over some things, we sharpened some iron, and we're really, really good now. Like, I think they could have like really, really, jumped on that to show the growth and be like, yo, like, this is what relationships are. It's going to be like that. You're going to have issues, you're going to have disagreements, but if you're both willing to work through it, look what you could have. And it seemed like they just enjoed their time stress-free.
Yes.
There was a couple on
vacation. I loved it. I loved it.
So did I.
Period. It can all be so simple.
That would be tight though, because now, like, I'm now thinking, like, okay, they go, by the time you get to the house, you pick your connections, so then y'all can do all these like couple building exercises and things, and this part, we just looking for the drama as a viewer, because it's like, oh, if he got 2 or 3 connections, how is he gonna spend all the time with this person and that person? And so it kind of takes away from what they're trying to do. So that does make sense to do couples on the getaway.
And it's also painful to watch, right?
I was just going to say that.
Walking in knowing 2 women going to be disappointed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see
them fight for attention, especially for people who can't be clear. You know what I mean? Like, last year was pretty bad too.
Yeah, Clifton did stuff last year.
So,
but you know why I think they do that is, to be honest with you, Because Tyrone, when you're filming and when you're actually in it, you don't think that far into it. Like, you don't think to yourself, everyone's going to be at the house, but it don't hit you till you get to the house with everybody like, oh, shoot, it's about to be a problem. Like, you don't realize it. But as women, we would realize it because that's how we think. Like, let's dissect this before we actually get to the house. How am I going to act? How she probably going to act? I wonder how he going to act because she going to be there. And then if he do act a certain kind of way, this is how I'm going to move. And if he do act like that, I'm going to go over here to my other, like,
a mile a minute.
We're going to figure it out.
Mile a minute.
And the fellas would be like, bruh, what's good? Like,
yeah,
bruh,
exactly. Like, y'all be clueless.
Don't be getting me up in this house, like, bruh. Like,
look, Randall need to go talk to somebody. He need to go seek help. He need to
yeah, I want to know who counsel is.
I mean, come on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like we had already figured it out. Jamala, even though like in real life she played it cool in her head, whatever the situation was, she like, it don't matter. That's my boo. We gonna be together. But she like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the house and I'm gonna let him know. Okay, KAYLA like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Trinika like, dang. I thought that I was gonna have LJ at least. And Randall like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. What was I supposed to do? Ain't nobody give me the cliff notes. Why ain't nobody tell me? Like that's just how it is. So like, how could he have prepared himself? No, you can't. Men can't, because y'all don't know. Y'all don't think like how women think. Period.
My heart is just too much. Just too much energy.
It's the truth. Yeah. It's the truth.
I'm all for the drama. I'm all for seeing people's different reactions and feelings play out at events like the pool party, or put them all on a boat or something, so where they can't run, from their multiple connections, and they need to learn how to deal with multiple connections being in the same room. You know what I mean? And learn how to deal with, outside pressures. Like, if you can't deal with outside pressures on the show, you're not going to be able to deal with outside pressures outside of the show.
But that's how you think, Tyrone. That's after the fact.
I know.
But think about it. You said deal with the pressures that's in the show. When was the last time you was in a house with 4 of your connections?
It was a struggle. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
I get it.
You're placed in situations that we don't, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know what's going to happen, especially with men. Like, y'all don't think past you just don't think that far. I need to stop drinking. All I'm saying is y'all don't think like how we think, and it's just unfortunate. Like, we were placed in situations like you said with the pool party. Like, you think to yourself, you know what, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna see how it is, and then you react and you do certain things during those scenes and during those times, and then after you do it, afterwards you like, dang, I shouldn't have did that. You know what I mean? And sometimes it just doesn't work like that when you guys do it.
I'm a fan of them like having just a big giant powwow group session to where everyone just kind of gets together and be like, who do you like? Right? Who do you want to pursue? Because if we're adults about this, we can walk out of here with 7, 8 couples. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Facts.
Instead of like all the back and forth, the bickering, the competing,
everybody,
the ambiguity, all that stuff, all this up in the air, and then you leave with 1 couple, maybe. You know what I mean? Just.
But you know what? The show makes it where you don't have that many connections with some people. You get eliminated because you don't have enough connections. I don't know how the heck Katie and Swayze made it all the way to the end.
But it's multiple people that had clear connections from the beginning that are still around. And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
But some people I've seen too on the past seasons where they clearly had a connection and then one or the other one got eliminated.
Yeah.
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 You know. Yeah.
I wonder if Zoe is going to be at the reunion. Do we answer that question yet?
Oh. No. Is he? No, I'm not going to say. Is he allowed to go?
I don't know, because honestly, between the show and social media and everybody else tearing him up, because he supposedly allegedly had a girlfriend the whole time, and it was all over social media. And then too, for him to blow up like that with Charisse, like wow. Like I think he lost all his coup points forever. Forever. I'm just saying, like think about it. Like you meet him in the streets and you like, oh my God, I'm interested in him. Oh my God, oh and you watch him on TV acting like that. Like, and vice versa. If it was a woman doing it, like, would you really want to deal with somebody that really acted like that? Like he kind of set himself up for failure, unfortunately, on national TV. Okay, don't everybody speak at once. I'm just
I have no words because it kind of is what it is. Like I don't even know what to say. Like there you have it. You know what I mean?
Did y'all coming to the reunion though?
I think he's gonna come, but he ain't gonna have much to say. He's gonna try to stay real still and quiet. But what was you about to say, Tyrone? Sorry.
Did y'all peep KAYLA's shade tonight?
On a particular situation or just in general?
I think it was just
I could not with Tyrone. Oh my God.
Yo, but the thing is that you got to catch it. Like she was saying quite a few things, but you just had you had to catch it. Expressions. You know what I mean?
See, I talked to her for a long time last night, so
you got all the tea.
Yeah, she was saying she was clearly saying some things and being a little.
There were some definitive things.
Like it was a couple of times I was like,
girl,
she know she said it. I was like, show it over, y'all. I was like, oh, she said it out loud.
Yeah.
I was like, this video don't need to stay on. People can watch the replay.
Right.
I'm like, but she grown. She know what she doing. She knows. She got a whole YouTube. She got her own YouTube channel too.
Yeah.
Shout out to KAYLA. So if you guys are interested in subscribing to her channel, it is KAYLA with a 2 T's.com. So she does have her own YouTube channel. So she knows how the YouTube world works.
Yeah.
But real quick, let's just talk about Trinika's exit. How did you guys feel about it? How she reacted towards Randall when she was getting eliminated? How did you feel? Did you think that it was valid for her to have an attitude and be upset with, her being eliminated, or, did you feel like it wasn't justified?
I feel like Randall was a teeny tiny bit, I don't want to say insensitive. I actually thought he handled it well. But when he started it's just us, let's just go, let's just have fun. Ain't nobody gonna come with that attitude when they finna get cut, Randall. That's cute. It's ideal and it sounds good, but y'all just went on this date and did this and you were saying all this stuff. Now you're gonna tell her to go home and you're just like, I'm shocked. Let's just keep it light and have fun. I'm like, are you that removed from the people you've been dealing with? It's just kind of like, bruh.
He was like, why is she acting like that?
I just don't understand that one. I'm like, that was really, really clueless of him. Again, no, I don't want to knock him because I feel like he was genuinely coming from a good space. But she's right. He didn't fight for her. And again, it's because he didn't want to. So just go home, girl. Have your drink and go home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sure Randall knew that he was about to eliminate her, right?
Yeah.
He knew
that. He knew that. And to still have that type of conversation using the language that he was using.
Correct.
And didn't even try to wink at her or nothing and be like, hey, I'm about to, I'm about to ask you something. He was still going on.
Yeah.
It was an enjoyable date.
Correct.
What are you
I'm enjoying our connection. I would really like to get to know you more. When we going on another date, girl. Oh, by the way. I was like, what the heck is going on? Is it me? I was like, I know I'm not tripping.
No, I was like, I already told you how I felt.
So, I don't think it was her best look, but I understand. I don't think she said anything overly outrageous about it. She was expressing her feelings. It seemed like she actually caught herself, you know, knowing that she was on TV, because I feel like it could have been a lot worse. You know what I mean? And I wonder how much we missed, how much of that date we didn't catch.
Facts.
You know? So
Yeah.
like even the whole like body language, wasn't they like touching and holding hands? Were they holding hands and stuff at the?
I don't recall any of.
I just
But
felt like it was a cute follow-up date from their toes and sound bath, whatever.
Yeah.
It was a cute follow-up date. Then, but yeah, out of here. Like it was a little. There was no flow to it. It didn't match.
And made me feel like in her head, she's like, if I was gonna get eliminated, it wouldn't be Randall doing it.
I'm thinking
So that's why she was that's why she was kind of like, hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm thinking she was probably thinking that she could still be in there. She's probably, I don't know, maybe doing the math and being like, okay, so there's KAYLA, Brandy, and Mike, and then me, Jamala, and Randall. Right? And I don't know. Clearly, Mike and Brandy are a thing, so KAYLA may be gone. You know what I mean?
Which almost wouldn't have been a terrible option, right? KAYLA didn't go on the, private date. She didn't win the thing. She didn't get the questions right.
Exactly.
And although that wasn't full grounds for elimination, it's like I'm confused on why she's still here. Like, you really gonna put up with Mike and or Randall? Like, what is there left? So I'm very interested to see what the next episode looks like.
Somebody says majority rules in the lounge. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think they hear our opinions, and then somebody in the back makes the ultimate decision.
I was about to say, we don't know what they have planned in the storyline for KAYLA.
I was about to say, part. Tyrone, don't say you think. You know for fact how it works.
They take the votes, and then
you don't know what happens after that.
They'd be like, I hear you. I hear you. Thanks for your input.
Right. Y'all can go home now.
Yeah.
Honey.
Thanks for your input, but Corey's gonna stay another week.
And guess what? This is Tyrone speaking from facts. Facts. Everybody saw it. We lived it. We were like, Corey's still here.
Trust me, we were all at home like,
facts.
How? Made me feel like a bad person. All the questions I had.
Like, had you questioning yourself? Was it?
Yeah, like, am I tripping? Maybe he really is a good guy.
Oh my God. All right, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are amazing. Y'all know y'all my peoples. Y'all are my family. Thank you to all my soulmates that joined in the chat tonight. Thank you to everyone that took the time out to watch this live in its entirety. And it was so amazing. Even after KAYLA left. Even after KAYLA left. Only a couple of you fell off. The rest of you definitely still stayed on. I appreciate you for that. If you have not liked this video, I would so greatly appreciate it before you leave out to hit the thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed to my channel and their channels as well, don't forget to go subscribe, go around the circle and subscribe to their channels as well. And before we leave, I like to go around the room and have everyone pretty much let you guys know where you can find them on social media. So Miss Demita Joe.
You can find me on YouTube at Miss Demita Joe, and Instagram is by Demita Joe. I almost forgot. By Demita Joe.
Tyrone.
What's up, everybody? Tyrone Wilson, Ty Wilson 21 everywhere. It is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, so you're going to see a lot more from me being a tech guy. It's always a pleasure being on the panel. It did not even feel like almost 4 hours.
Right. Thank you.
Tonight. So shout out to Demita Joe, Jamie, Gus, KAYLA, and thank you, Sabrina, again for having me. It's always a pleasure, often therapeutic sometimes to get some of my opinions out. So thank you.
Yes, Miss Jamie.
Yeah, this was definitely fun as always. I love kicking it with y'all. So that's always what this feels like. I'm Jamie Alexander. You can find me here. This is how you spell my name. I'm on YouTube and Instagram mostly. So just come through. I'm usually being silly on my IG, but you can really find some gems on my YouTube. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is great.
Thank you again so much, everyone. Stay tuned. We will have the live reaction party on Friday. We will have the review after that. Stay tuned until the reunion, and also to get ready for the new show that we have, Powered by the Missing Link, which is Single Soulmates. It is a dating show that I am going to be doing very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. I did put that in the chat, so you can go back and check that out. Make sure you subscribe to find out more information. If you are single, or if you know family, friends, anybody that's single, make sure you have them tune in so they can call in, come on, and shoot their shot. Also, to I just want to give a huge shout out to KAYLA. Thank you so much for being patient with us. Thank you so much for allowing us to ask you all of the questions. And I know, like, dealing with the chat and everything, you are amazing. So love you so much, guys. And other than that, you can find me everywhere at Miss Sabrina Soul. Anyway, love you so much, guys. We're gonna go backstage and talk more crap. Love you. See you next time. Bye.